Covered in battle scars, he wiped the sweat off his brow, his gaze steady as ever. And so, day in and day out, month after month, year after year, he suited up in armor and clutched his spear like it was his emotional support weapon. 10 years zoom by, and now he's standing solo on a mountain of corpses, eyes full of resolve, thinking, with just one sword, I can slice up every last monster. I used to be totally fearless, at least until that figure showed up. Knocked back by a massive force, he looked up at the figure towering over him, saying, Give it up, the world you knew is gone, and I'm the one who made it happen. He lifted his blood-smeared face. What a waste of your skills. Join me as my sword. The sword god cracked a grin. Don't make me laugh. He let out a roar and charged forward, swinging his spear with all his might. The demon's eyes narrowed, a smirk of disdain playing on its lips. The sword god lunged again, his blue eyes blazing with an unyielding fire. Red energy burst forth. Your struggle is pointless, just like an ant to me. The sword god was hit hard, crying out in pain as he was flung far and crashed into the ground. The sword god got back on his feet again while the demon lord just stood there, totally unfazed, power literally crackling around him. With a casual wave, the demon lord sent the sword god to his knees, gasping for air. As the demon lord turned, a cracked but glowing blue gem was embedded in his back. The sword god's eyes narrowed, locking onto the gem like it was the last slice of pizza at a party. He charged once more, aiming his sword tip at the vital spot. The demon lord's massive sword came flying in with a whoosh, its blade sweeping a huge arc, the tip gleaming wickedly sharp. The sword god's spear pierced the lord's body, and the force sent him reeling back, shattering the gem on his chest. A blinding light swallowed everything, and the demon lord's eyes widened in fury. You bastard! The sword god struggled to his feet as the gem shattered completely, and the demon lord's body dissolved into light dust. He let out a desperate cry, No! No! As the dazzling light consumed everything. When the light faded, silence returned to the world. The sword god lay on the ground, staring at the burning wreckage, his eyelids slowly drooping. A meteor streaked across the night sky, a beautiful sight. His mind drifted into deep water, and footsteps echoed nearby. He's shuffling down an ordinary street in his slippers. Yep, that's Chu Dao-jun just cruising along. His face was totally blank. Red lights flashed. Nanshan Gate B, recommended, sea level, civilians prohibited. Please scan Hero ID, unregistered individuals prohibited entry. In Seoul's Yongsan district, he walked straight through. He stopped in front of a door, crouched down, and a flash of blue light appeared. He had crossed the wall. Alarms blared loudly. An unregistered hero had forced entry. Shu Dao-jun had a total poker face. Inside the gate is a thick forest, and he's just vibing, weaving through the trees. Hey yo, young man. He stopped in his tracks. A squad of armed folks pops out. Hey, you lost or what? The captain spoke up. I have no clue. What's your deal? But we're heading out anyway. Wanna tag along? Shu Dao-jun just looks totally lost. The female team member whispered, Captain, look at his outfit. He doesn't look heroic at all. Even for someone in logistics, that's way too casual. And what's up with that backpack? The captain sighed. Don't tell me he's a logistics guy who got ditched by his team. No way, right? Shu Dao-jun said, I get what you guys mean, but I literally just got here. He scratched his head. A team member said, See? I told you, he totally got ditched. I've met tons of people like you. I get why you want to check out the gate, but coming here just because you saw it on TV or online. Trying to get yourself killed, not the move. Go get your hero license first, do some training and take the test. Also, this is a C-rank gate. If you want to get started, go find an F-rank one. Shu Dao-jun replied, I get that you're trying to help, but honestly, I'm not exactly grateful. Everyone went silent for a moment. That team member snapped, What's up with this lunatic? Chill out, Captain. Don't hold me back this time. The captain just shrugged. Whatever. If someone's totally unbothered by kindness, guess he'll have to learn the hard way. The gates are nothing like what you see on TV or online. Shu Dao-jun turned his head, thinking, Man, these places are brutal and merciless. A massive monster pops up in front of him, roaring like it's trying to start something. He sets his backpack down, footsteps echoing. A flash of blue light, then white light lit up behind him. 10 years later, there's a golden glint in his eyes. A flash of gold in his eyes, he spins and kicks. The monster's head goes flying like a soccer ball. The headless body hit the ground with a thud. Honestly, it wasn't that different from before. He glanced down at his arm, now totally splattered with blood. Let the hunt begin. Shu Dao-jun reached out, and a peculiar sword materialized in his hand. He stared at the sword, zoning out for a bit. He plunged the sword into the monster's body, blood splattering everywhere. He carved open the monster's flesh, extracting a glowing magic stone. Low-level magic stones, stuff I wouldn't have even bothered to glance at before. He pops the magic stone into his backpack. Scanning the area for his next target, his eyes sharpened. A foot wrapped in bandages stomped on the ground with a loud boom. A bunch of goblins show up and he just casually dodges their attacks like it's nothing. Casually tossing a magic stone, it emitted a green light, wiping out several goblins in a flash. A goblin roared, and with a wave of his hand, more goblins bit the dust. Shu Daojun looks totally chill. Meanwhile, the team was trekking through the forest. The female member said, "That annoying guy from before." What if he actually bites the dust? A team member asked. "Are you seriously worried about him?" The captain said, "If he's an intruder, the control center folks should already be here by now." This is the C-level Nanshan gate. Only B-level elites and above get called in. As long as he doesn't go charging at monsters like a maniac, he should be fine. A team member agreed. The captain's right. That kid's probably shaking in his boots, waiting for agents to save him. A giant goblin showed up. Shu Daojun socks the goblin right in the face. The goblin charged, but Shu Daojun dodged effortlessly. He kicked the goblin's chin, sending it crashing down. Shu Daojun tightened his grip on his sword, thinking, just 3 more magic stones to go. The sky cleared up, and he slung his backpack over his shoulder, ready to dip. Total loot? Honestly kinda meh. Just 12 low-level magic stones and 16 mid-tier ones. A suited man ran over, shouting, "Over here!" Shu Daojun turned. More suited agents surrounded him. The blonde agent said, "Hey, we're from the Portal Control Center. Can you show us your hero registration card? If you're not registered, you'll have to come with us to the center." Shu Daojun thinks. Portal Control Center. "Alright, just go with it and follow their lead," the agent says with zero warmth. "What now? Seriously?" Shu Daojun frowns. This is such a pain. The agent pulls out a pair of handcuffs. A blonde agent shouts, "Sir, please cooperate. If you refuse, we might have to get a little rough." Shu Daojun just casually grabs the agent's hand. The blonde agent said, "If you resist, any injuries you get are totally on you." "Might as well just go to the control center." Shu Daojun casually twisted the agent's wrist like it was nothing. The blonde agent was shocked. "Don't mess with me, just go back." Other agents drew weapons, ready to attack. 2 staffs crossed, emitting blue light. A level 4 staff might work on orcs. But he grabbed the blonde agent's head, making him scream. "This is your last warning. Unless you want more bruises, you better scram." Shu Daojun's eyes glint with icy menace. A gust of wind howled. Shu Daojun stood firm, muscular arms hanging, gaze hidden in shadows. An agent swung a short stick. Shu Daojun blocked with his forearm. The stick stopped with a zap. Electricity danced on his skin. His other hand shot out, eyes flashing with golden light. He grabbed the guy's collar, powered up from his feet, spun around, and kicked someone so hard they practically folded in half and flew off. Without missing a beat, he spun and slapped another thug, sending him stumbling backward. Shu Daojun paused, facing off with the last enemy. The blonde agent clenched his jaw, beads of cold sweat sliding down from his temple. He muttered a curse under his breath, while Shu Daojun just stood there calmly. Then, in a blink, he was gone. The blonde agent whipped his head around. Where'd he go? Shu Daojun smacked the blonde agent right in the chest, launching him backwards. The agent crashed to his knees. He kept coughing non-stop, while Shu Daojun stood right in front of him, fist still smoking like it just came fresh out of the oven. The blonde agent got up, eyes full of hate. "You—" He looked up, confused. "Huh?" Shu Daojun asked. "So, registered heroes are all good, right?" The blonde agent replied, "Yeah, as long as nothing shady is going down inside, we don't even need to show up." Shu Daojun pressed on. "Then what's the deal with those rifts?" The blonde agent shivered. "They're portals to another world. Monsters just keep pouring out from everywhere like endless monsters. Monsters pour out from these dark whirlpools, and the stuff we get from hunting them? Yeah, it's turned into new energy now. So the government totally locks down the gates, keeping the monsters inside, and any space that doesn't get fenced in, that's what they call a rift. Just a wild, burning chaos zone." Shu Daojun turned around and asked, "So, no matter which gate I go through, you guys are coming after me, right?" His eyes flashed gold like he was about to call me out for breaking and entering or something. The blonde agent stammered, "Yeah, that's right." The blonde guy was sweating bullets. If an unregistered hero sneaks into a gate, the control center gets an alert and agents nearby come running. Then he shouted, "The rift isn't as easy to get into as a gate. The Hero Association will never let you off the hook." Shu Daojun shrugged. "Whatever." He turned away, showing only his back, then suddenly slapped his hand over the blonde agent's face. The blonde agent thought, "This guy's nuts. Seriously, what is he doing?" Shu Daojun suddenly kicked out, landing a solid hit on the blonde agent. Shu Daojun glanced back. No biggie. The blonde agent just slumped to the ground, gritting his teeth in frustration. "You jerk!" Shu Daojun walked into the forest depths. A roar echoed behind him. "Next time I catch you, you're toast!" He was swallowed by white light. An invisible barrier shattered with a roar. Alarms blared. "Oh, crap!" That voice was like a banshee's wail. It felt like my ears were getting ripped apart. Shu Daojun blacked out, like he was getting sucked into something. Death. I thought this was it. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, the world was upside down. Some armored figure dropped down from the sky. Shu Daojun found himself standing in the void, dazed, lost in some wild fantasy. "Who are you?" He spoke up. "My name's Shu Daojun. I'm about to bite the dust, but if you grant me just one wish, I'll quietly peace out." The sword god just said, "No." Shu Daojun was stunned for a sec, then he actually laughed. "Honestly, I've got zero regrets in life. After fighting for 10 years, the friends I trusted stabbed me in the back, my country got wrecked, my buddies died, my family too. They told us to live our best lives, but now, everything just feels pointless. You get it, right?" That thought made me shiver all over. Shu Daojun went on, "Even if that's how my life turns out, I still don't want my grandma or Yunyong to live like that." Sword God let out a sigh. "So just answer this. What do you actually want?" I couldn't help but grin. What do I want? Seoul's Gasan Digital Complex? Yongchun District? Now everyone calls it the Hero Zone. There are magic weapon shops and ultimate armor signs everywhere. The trade and gate loot here? It's even bigger than IT now. IT companies. Shu Daojun strolled down the street, getting side-eye from everyone around. "Hey, whatever, let's just head in here." The doorbell chimed. A tattooed guy looked up. "Welcome," I said. "I'm here to sell some magic stones." His face lit up with the biggest grin. "You've come to the right place. We pay the highest in all of Korea." Then a bunch of blood-stained red gems tumbled out of my backpack onto the counter, and his smile froze. He eyed the bloodstains on the gems with disgust. He quickly put on his professional smile again. "Whoa, you've got loads of magic stones. Hang tight while I sort these out." The tattoo guy asked if I wanted some coffee, so I plopped down on the sofa. Whatever. Shu Daojun sipped his coffee while the tattooed guy did his thing behind the counter. Sorting through the gems, he tapped on his calculator and said, "So you've got 12 low-grade magic stones, 16 mid-grade ones, and 5 high-grade ones. You know the handling fee is 40% of the purchase price, right?" He held up his calculator, looking all smug. "So, you'll get a grand total of 5.46 million won. Shu Daojun cut him off. "Hold up, I did all the hunting, you're just buying them, so why are you taking a 40% fee?" "Wait, seriously? You didn't know that?" He gave a dismissive chuckle. "The original fee was 45, but we're only asking for 40. That's already a sweet deal. If you don't want to sell, just take it back." But nope. Shu Daojun swept the gem back into his bag and said, "All right." As Shu Daojun turned to leave, a hand grabbed his wrist. The tattooed guy said, "Hey, you gotta pay the appraisal fee." He grinned. "Plus, you gotta pay for the coffee. Appraisal fee is 30,000, coffee's 10,000, and your shoes messed up our fancy towel, so in total, you owe 350,000. Shu Daojun shook off his hand. "I'm broke. Do whatever you want." The tattooed guy's face dropped. "So you're not selling to us? We've got a few C-level heroes backing us." He flashed a sinister grin. "You're toast." Heavy footsteps echoed as the door swung open. 3 guys walked in, with the tattooed dude hanging out behind them. The guy in front spoke up. "What's going on? Why'd you call us over? Is someone causing trouble again?" Shu Daojun stared straight at him. He stared right back, and for a second, it was like the air totally froze. The tattooed guy's pupils widened, his body trembling uncontrollably. A heavy punch landed on the leader's face, followed by a scream as he hit the ground. He groaned in pain. The room was a wreck, with guys sprawled everywhere and a shattered table. Shu Daojun flexed his wrist and turned to leave. Without looking back, he said, "The fee is 1. The tattooed guy looked up in horror as Shu Daojun pointed at the blueprint. "Let's work well together in the future." Shu Daojun smirked, his eyes glinting with something unusual. A shop with a sign reading, "High price purchase of magic stones. See you next time." A thick stack of cash was slapped on the table, leaving Grandma and Yun Young in shock, their eyes wide. Grandma held the cash, looking puzzled, and asked Shu Daojun, "Where did this money come from?" Shu Daojun scratched his head from where he was sitting and said, "It's not what you think. I loaned some money to a friend who started a business ages ago. Turns out, he crushed it." Grandma gave him a suspicious look. "You have that kind of friend?" Shu Daojun looked away, lips curling up. "Yeah, someone I used to hang out with as a kid, back where I grew up." Grandma's face immediately relaxed. "Of course I know. Yun Young's eyes lit up. Bro, we're rich now. Xu Daojun gently patted his sister's head. Yep, starting now. Yun Young cheered. Whoa, we're rich. Yun Young jumped into Xu Daojun's arms, and Xu Daojun thought, Grandma and Yun Young, please let them live in a house safer than anywhere else. Before I could even say anything, he vanished. In the mirror, I saw Yun Young hugging him, and the moment I woke up, I had turned into Xu Daojun. The safest house in Korea is going for 110 billion won these days. I don't have to keep a one-sided promise, but if money's not even an issue, who cares? Xu Daojun clenched his fist. Cracks, huh? Everything here is way flimsier than the world I watched get wrecked. For me, the sword god, this is just child's play. Countless monsters roared in the flames. Xu Daojun's eyes darkened slightly. My power hasn't even recovered to 1/10. There was a loud knock on the door. The three were startled simultaneously. A shout came from outside. Xu Daojun. Xu Daojun got up to respond. I'll go check. He pressed Grandma's shoulder. Stay inside. He walked to the door. Xu Daojun opened it, and two men stood outside. The brown-haired man looked up at him. Xu Daojun, debts should be repaid on time, right? The blonde man grinned. Do you know how much you owe? A full 48 million. Xu Daojun thought, it's the money the real Xu Daojun borrowed from loan sharks before he died. 5 million for Grandma's hospital bills, and it quickly multiplied tenfold. The blonde man pointed at him. You've been making money in the portal, right? Hand it over, it's all written in the contract, don't cry injustice. Xu Daojun's fist was already in front of him. He turned and punched the brown-haired man, then immediately punched the blonde man. The blonde man was pushed back by the powerful force, his eyes full of shock. What? I've already paid over 9 million? Shouldn't I be the one collecting money now? Xu Daojun's face was hidden in the shadows. Only one eye glowed gold. The blonde man trembled with fear. He stammered, Are you really Xu Daojun? A moment of silence.
徐道俊说：“转告你们老板，我很快就会去拜访他。”徐道俊握紧了拳头，眼中闪过一丝厉色。商场里人声鼎沸，货架上摆满了泰迪熊。
Whoa, I can really do this.
Yun Young's eyes lit up like fireworks as she asked, Can I get a new doll? Xu Daojun grinned. Of course, we've already got the clothes. So go ahead and pick whatever you like. As I tapped into Xu Daojun's memories, my own dried-up emotions started to thaw.
Right now, it's just sympathy, but even so, Xu Daojun is super sweet to his half-sister Yun Young. Yun Young joyfully snuggled a massive teddy bear. At the very least, I'll make sure to protect that feeling. Xu Daojun turned his face, looking super determined. Yun Young held up a tiny white bunny plushie. Brother, can I have this one? The doll is a pure white rabbit. Seo Dojun places a massive teddy bear in front of him, saying, Didn't I tell you to pick whatever you like? Yun Young can't stop grinning. The table was loaded up with food, and the two just quietly munched away. Someone calls out, Hold up, Seo Dojun. Yeah? Seo Dojun turns around when he hears his name. A blonde woman appears with two bald bodyguards. The blonde lady smirked and said, Wow, dressed like that? You look totally broke. Who's that over there? Did you mess up? Got someone pregnant, huh? Just like your mom back in the day. Seo Dojun's face instantly dropped, and you could literally feel the air freeze. The blonde woman and the bodyguards looked down at the dining table. Yun Young stops chewing, looking puzzled. Who is this woman? Seo Dojun's expression is stern. The blonde woman adjusts her sunglasses, a mocking smile on her lips. Yun Young takes small bites of her burger, looking bewildered. The blonde woman looks down at Yun Young and asks, What's your name? I'm Yun Young. The blonde woman says, From the Lee family? Look at your outfit, just as sloppy as your mum's. She turns to Seo Dojun. Am I right? Seo Dojun remains silent, his face gloomy. The blonde woman said, What, cat got your tongue now? Not gonna say anything? He clicks his tongue impatiently. Hey, kid. He leans in close to Yun Young. Do you even know what a slut is? A glint of ice flashes in Seo Dojun's eyes as he says, You're honestly so ugly, you look like a half-orc. The blonde woman freezes. What did you just say? The blonde woman whipped her head around in shock. Seo Dojun just looked ice-cold, eyes practically on fire. Seo Dojun was born as an illegitimate child and grew up in poverty. When he was 7, his mother passed away and he barely managed to enter his father's house. He lived under discrimination and contempt for over a decade. After his father's legitimate wife gave birth to a son, he was completely neglected and then kicked out again, living in his half-sister's grandmother's house. Seo Dojun, you've endured all this, but now it's different. Seo Dojun slowly stands up and says, But it's still so disgusting. Not only is your appearance and personality a mess, but you're also stupid and bad at studying. You only feel intense inferiority towards women who are prettier and kinder than you. You only care about your brother's property, but compared to this child, how are you any better? Not at all. People around them glance over, and Seo Dojun's gaze grows colder. What? The blonde woman glares. Dojun! Long time no see. Hong Seok-soo approaches him. Hong Seok-soo is handsome and has an extraordinary aura. Mom! The blonde woman ran over, ready to snitch. Mom, do you know what that kid just said to me? That kid said to me, shut up. Hong Hee-ju coldly interrupts him. Behave yourself. What kind of uncultured behavior is this? He turns and smiles at Seo Dojun. Right? Dojun, how have you been all these years? What have you been busy with? Seo Dojun says, so hypocritical. In the last 12 years, you're the one who's hurt me the most. Hong Hee-ju kept going. Your dad's really worried about you. Seo Dojun shot back. That's just gross. Hong Hee-ju said, we're not here just to make small talk, right? His smile gets even wider. Seo Dojun just stares blankly. Seo Dojun's pupils contract. His body trembles. A hint of ruthlessness flashes in Hong Seok-soo's eyes as he turns to leave. The blonde woman looks puzzled. Is this the Seo Dojun I know? The guy who would bow his head even if he was beaten for no reason. Hong Hee-ju walks away without looking back. Mom, wait for me. The blonde woman chases after her. Seo Dojun watches their backs and says, let's go. Eun-young responds, Seo Dojun thinks, the Seo Dojun who couldn't even speak and only swallowed his anger is gone. You better realize that soon. A luxury car speeds away. The blonde woman says, Mom, how can you just leave like that? You should have totally roasted that guy. Do you know what that guy said to me? That bastard, Hong Seok-soo interrupts him. Manager, why is Dojun still alive? Hong Seok-soo's eyes are cold, a strange smile on his lips. The bald guy replied, according to the report, Kang Cheol-woo said he left Dojun at the portal. Then how come that guy who was supposed to be dead is still alive? The bald guy replied, sorry, I'll double check. The blonde woman looked totally shocked. Wait, Mom, what do you mean by that? Mom, what are you talking about? Hong Seok-soo closes his eyes, silent. Mom, seriously, what are you even doing? Do you want to kill Dojun? Do you still like Dojun? The blonde woman's cheeks flush. No, I don't. If Grandpa and Dad find out, Hong Seok-soo grabs the blonde woman's mouth. He shoots her a frosty look. Is this your mom? Mind your own business and deal with your own problems. The blonde woman breaks into a nervous sweat, totally speechless. How dare you talk back, you filthy bastard? Hong Hee-ju's eyes are filled with murderous intent. I must get rid of him no matter what. 10 years ago, a rift appeared. Monsters poured out, slaughtering humans, and the world fell into extreme chaos. The rise of heroes and magic stones quickly put an end to the chaos. A car zoomed by, and with magic stones taking over as the new energy source, countries went all out to conquer portals. Now, everything revolves around these portals and the heroes. The car came to a halt. So if you want to make money these days, you gotta be a hero. Shu Do-jun hopped out of the car, glanced up at Yongdung-po HCS Capital and thought, yep, this is the spot. He walked up to the company entrance where Hwang Chang-seop was smoking. And who the hell are you supposed to be? You beat up my guys and still have the guts to show your face here? Shu Do-jun stood his ground. No matter how I look at it, I'm the one getting the short end of the stick. Hwang Chang-shi was baffled. Short end? How are you at a loss? Shu Do-jun said, thanks to you guys, I've taken hits mentally, physically, and financially. I deserve some payback. Hwang Chang-seop's gaze darkened. That friendly vibe was gone. And if you can beat up my guys like that, you must have had your awakening in the portal. He leaned in closer to Shu Do-jun. Looks like you've got a bit of confidence now. Want me to tell you what happens to people who get all cocky right after awakening? Before he could finish, Shu Do-jun shot to his feet, making Hwang Chang-shi jump up in surprise too. Hwang Chang-shi looked down at Shu Do-jun. Those self-important awakeners, in the end, are just D-level trash. By the way, I've got plenty of people who can silence a D-level lackey like you. Shu Do-jun stayed calm. He spoke coolly. Sit down, I'm not done talking. A bespectacled henchman was furious. What? You little brat dare to order me? His eyes flared with anger. Before he could finish, Shu Do-jun threw a punch, sending the glasses flying, and the guy hit the ground hard. Shu Do-jun looked down at him. You guys aren't just loan sharks, are you? Then he threw another punch, knocking out a bald guy. Shu Do-jun pinned one down. I know you forge documents too. I want to make money with a hero certificate. He swung his arm, swiftly taking down another. In no time, he was the only one standing in the office. Shu Do-jun said, get me a flawless one, no issues, by tomorrow. Everyone stared at him in fear. What kind of power is this? He's not D rank. Wait, is he C rank? No way he's B rank. Shu Daojun tapped on the table. Not gonna answer me? Huang Changxi replied, voice shaking.
All right.
Shu Daojun grabbed his collar. Oh, and one more thing. Shu Daojun's eyes glinted coldly. Was it Hong Xiuxu who told you to try and kill me? Huang Changxi shivered all over. A woman's face flashed through his mind. Shu Daojun tightened his grip. Well, spill it. He gave a hard twist, making Huang Changxi drop to his knees with a scream, while the blonde thug yelped, and soon both Hong Xishu and Huang Changxi were wailing on the floor.
That woman said, just push him to the point where he offs himself with debt. That's all you need to do. That's literally what she said.
Let me go, I'm begging you. Shu Daojun let go of him. Suicide. So that's why you locked me in the portal. Huang Changxie was tossed aside, locked in the portal. I don't know anything. Seriously, I swear. He waved his hands frantically. If you die in there, I won't get a single cent, so no way I'd send you into the portal. I swear. Shu Daojun tapped his chin. Jiang Jiayu's the jerk who dragged me into the portal. Bring me his info tomorrow too. Huang Changxi shaking. Oh, okay, I got it. Shu Daojun turned and left the office, stepping out of the building. Those old pleas echoed in his ears. Please let Grandma and Eunyoung be safer than anyone else. That jerk, he clenched his fist. Since this has started, I'm gonna set everything straight. Shu Daojun whipped out his B-rank hero card, slid it into the scanner, and the system dinged. Hero login card confirmed. A warning popped up. Your level's below what's recommended. This place is dangerous. Please proceed with caution. Shu Daojun's eyes darkened. Ugh, stupid chairman. Couldn't you at least bump me up to A rank? The warning kept blaring, but he just strolled right into the hallway. Night Rain Gate. Shu Daojun stepped in, and his footsteps echoed through the darkness. A B-level portal, yet D-level scale. The tunnel terrain forced solo combat, making the difficulty close to A-level. He peeked around the corner. If luck isn't on my side, he smirked, I'll have to face hundreds of monsters alone in this dark, narrow tunnel. A giant venomous snake coiled in front of Shu Daojun, purple breath swirling. He grabbed the snake's jaw, his mouth curled up. I like it, the snake screeched. His hand turned into a crimson gold claw, slicing through the snake's neck. Blood splattered, the snake's head flew off, venom dripped from its fangs. Shu Daojun watched coldly. Black Shark Viper. It's venom? Instant game over if it touches you. Shu Daojun dodged its sweep, whipped out his sword, and with a flurry of slashes, chopped the giant snake to bits. Its body turned into black smoke, green venom splattering everywhere. Shu Daojun examined his gloves. The venom slid off harmlessly. The gloves I bought for 300,000 aren't bad. Shu Daojun looked at the gloves. Green venom slid off his fingertips. His eyes were sharp, and more venomous snakes appeared. With a swift claw, he crushed a snake's head, and in no time the snake swarm was wiped out, venom splattering everywhere. Shu Daojun stood there, not a scratch on him. He stomped on the snake corpses, but found no magic stones inside. If it's the same as the last world, Black Shark Vipers only drop magic stones like 3% of the time. He turned and ventured deeper, realizing he'd have to take down a few hundred more. As he moved forward, several skeletons rose from the ground. He locked eyes with one, emitting a dark aura. Are you the boss? A giant snake appeared. Well, I'm lost anyway, so this works out. He dropped his backpack and jumped up. Gotta wrap this up quick. He punched the snake on the head. Huh? My attack did nothing. The giant snake whipped its tail out of nowhere and sent him flying. He stumbled to the ground while the snake opened its huge, scary mouth. The snake roared. He landed a kick right on its head, spun around, and gave it another solid boot. He steadied himself, gearing up for another strike. He kicked the snake in the head, but ended up bouncing right back. Just like I thought, the shell's so tough my punches can't even scratch it. Now what am I supposed to do? Suddenly, he noticed something. A sword just chilling next to a skeleton. It's old, but it'll have to do. A sword's power depends on who's wielding it. He picked up the long sword. This sword. The giant snake lunged at him. I'll just borrow it for a bit, he said, blocking with the sword. It's your honor to fall by my hand. Shu Daojun's eyes sharpened. Venomous snake beheaded. The blade slashed towards the snake's neck. The giant snake let out a final roar. The sword light clashed with the snake's scales. A loud bang. The sword shattered, fragments flying past his cheek. He looked at the remaining sword hilt in his hand. The snake's head rolled to the ground. If I hadn't taken it down, things would have gotten real ugly. He walked over to the giant snake's body. Out popped a magic stone, and he grabbed the snake's nasty bone. It's a bit short for making large items, but with some refining, it should be useful. Better than Nanshan. Didn't expect a mere B-level portal to take so long. Shu Daojun walked out the door, clenching his fist. Restoring my strength is urgent. Luckily, my old comrades didn't see me like this. The figures of the past appeared in the night sky. He gazed alone at the city before him. Under the sign of magic stones on sale, a turbaned merchant poured red magic stones from a helmet. The headscarf merchant said, "Hey, this batch of magic stones is pretty solid. As usual, I'll have to take a 40% fee." The customer replied, "Isn't that a bit steep? I'm a regular here. Can't you cut me some slack?" The turban guy said, "Oh my god, this is literally the lowest price. Portal Center takes a 5. We don't even keep records, totally helping you dodge taxes. Think about it. This deal is clean and totally worth it." The turban guy finished the trade and the customer took the cash, saying, "All right then." He glanced at the tattooed guy next to him who had a swollen face and asked, "By the way, what happened to your face?" The tattooed guy replied, "Ugh, don't even get me started. Some maniac popped up out of nowhere, wiped out all our guards, and left me looking like this." The turbaned merchant said, "See, you only let your guard down because you had a C-rank guard around. I've been saying it forever. Levels aren't what matter. It's all about actual strength. Levels are just something the bureaucrats made up to make their lives easier. If you think people of the same level have the same strength, you're gravely mistaken. Can a fresh-out-of-licensed shop guard be anything like a hero who's risking their life on the hunt?" The tattooed guy said, all right, deal's done. Time to move on." The turban guy patted his shoulder. "Hey, we've known each other forever. Need a hand? Just holler." The turban merchant laughed and turned to leave. While behind him, Shu Daojun stood expressionless. Suddenly, the tattooed guy's eyes went wide and he shouted, "Hey, that's him! That jerk's the one who beat me up." The turbaned merchant turned back. "Oh, it's this kid. Pretty tall, looks all neat and tidy, and he's the one making trouble here?" He turned to Shu Daojun. "Hey, are you the one stirring things up here?" "You call yourself a hero, but you're out here picking on regular folks? You do know heroes aren't supposed to mess with ordinary people, right?" The tattooed guy grinned. "That guy's a 7-year veteran hero, super well connected in the hero scene. If you cross him..." Zhu Daojun shot them a cold look, and both the merchant and tattooed guy froze. Zhu Daojun said, "You want revenge?" The turbaned merchant replied, "You little punk." Inside, he panicked. Crap. The main reason heroes die isn't monsters. It's stuff like this. 7 years on the job and his survival instincts kicked in. The turbaned merchant cleared his throat. "Well, catch you later. I'll just head out first." He made a hasty exit, leaving the tattooed guy standing there, totally lost. Shu Daojun said, "You seem to have a problem with me." The tattooed man shivered in fear. Shu Daojun tossed over a bag, and when he caught it, it was packed full of shiny red magic stones. Shu Daojun said, "Settle up." "Wait, these are premium magic stones?" He started sweating. "Who on earth is this guy?" The tattooed guy tapped on the calculator, hands shaking, and said, "That'll be 150 million. Shu Daojun thought, "I fought all day and only made 150 million? Just give me the 150 million. The tattooed guy said, "Wait, that's before the fee." Shu Daojun shot him a cold look, and the tattooed guy wondered, "Did I just say something I shouldn't have?" Shu Daojun goes, "Yup, the fee is 1%. He smirks. "So that's 148.5 million. Fork it over." The tattoo guy snaps, "Are you kidding me? I said the fee is 40. Are you deaf?" He suddenly deflates. "Yeah, any transaction over 100 million needs the higher-ups sign-off." Zhu Daojun shoots back, "Ice cold, then go get it signed. Now." Tattoo guy grabs the phone with shaky hands. "White, yes, boss, here's the deal." Shu Daojun took the phone. "You heard that, right? Tell them to pay up." On the other end, "Okay, got it, but could you please give the phone back to the staff?" Shu Daojun tossed the phone over. It crashed onto the floor. Shu Daojun said, "Your so-called boss already gave the green light, so cough up the cash." The tattooed guy stared at the busted phone, all flustered. Oh, okay." He popped open the cash box. It was stuffed with bills. Shu Daojun snagged the cash and strolled out, saying, "Let's keep these transactions as fun as ever, yeah?" The tattooed guy thought, since when was strong-arming someone a fun transaction? 10 minutes later, the boss stormed back in. "Hey, why didn't you pick up?" "What was that call about?" The tattooed guy said, "Boss, I'm out. I can't do this anymore." Suddenly, he noticed something. The boss dialed a number. "Hello, Juyan." "It's me. You gotta swing by." A girl with purple hair strutted down the street, her heels clicking, and everyone couldn't help but stare. "Whoa! Isn't that Xuan Juyan?" "It's really Xuan Juyan." She strode through the crowd looking totally fierce. She stopped at the magic stone shop. The doorbell chimed. "Welcome!" The tattooed guy spotted who it was and let out a panicked scream. "Xuan Juyan!" Xuan Juyan slid her sunglasses up and went, "Yep, that's me, Xuan Juyan." The tattooed guy's jaw dropped. This was Korea's number 4 S-class hero, Xuan Juyan. He'd heard she was the boss's niece, but like, what was she even doing here? Xuan Zhuyan spoke up. My uncle says he's got a headache because some hero is basically strong-arming people into buying and selling magic stones. Xuan Zhuyan walked up to the counter, hopped on top, and gave a frosty stare. Spill the tea. Give me the whole story. Meanwhile, out in the yard, Xu Daojun was busy doing push-ups while Enying played on the wooden deck. Xu Daojun stood up, rocking some seriously fit muscles. Hunted all day, barely scraped together 100 million. At this rate, there's no way I'll make it. I seriously need to solo S-rank portals ASAP. Top priority is to get my old powers back, but unlike my last world, the magic here is super weak. Even gathering magic daily, it'll take 3 years, maybe more. If only I had some decent gear, but here even trash equipment costs a fortune. He let out a little hum when suddenly the door burst open. Xu Daojun yelled, "Enying, get in here, quick!" He dashed forward and yanked Enying into the house. Grandma called out, "Daojun, what's going on?" The whole house started shaking like crazy. Enying shrieked, "Earthquake? Is it an earthquake?" Xu Daojun was like, "Nope, not an earthquake. The sky's got a giant purple crack, like a huge tear, and now it's covered in webby fissures." Grandma hugged Enying. "Daojun, what's going on?" Xu Daojun said, "It's dangerous. Don't leave the room." Then he dashed outside and boom, Xu Daojun got sucked right into the rift. "Daojun gay! Daojun brother!" Meanwhile, over at the Seoul Hero Association, the team leader goes, "A new rift just popped up in Mapo District. It's only been 63 days since the last one. Quick, get in touch with everyone and send the nearest heroes as soon as possible." Where exactly is the rift? In the yard of some random house. Ugh, a regular house? Seriously? This is a headache. What if some random civilian who isn't a hero wanders in there? Everyone else has to wait for him to come out before they can go in. If he croaks in there, then a 10-day monster wave is gonna explode from the rift zone, and Seoul is basically toast. Check it out. His name's Xu Daojun. He lives in the house where the rift popped up. His grandma said he went in to save his little sister, so yeah, he's not a hero. Ping, what's the chance we're getting that monster wave? 99.9. In the office, Hong Shishu slapped a file down. "Awakened? Are you saying Daojun's awakened?" He hasn't even registered with the Hero Association yet, but during that last portal incident, it was confirmed. He totally awakened. The bald guy was breaking out in a cold sweat. What the heck did Zhang Jieyu even do? Hong Shishu slammed the table in anger. Like, you should have just taken that jerk out directly. Why make it all so extra? And you even took money for this mess. Manager Lee, if he doesn't kill Daojun, he'll owe me 10 times the money. The bald man. Maybe we don't need to contact Zhang Jieyu anymore. What do you mean? Number 1. A new rift appeared in Mapo District, right at Daojun's house. We've confirmed he went into the rift. Media's gonna blow up about it soon. Hong Shishu snorted. Well, I guess we won't have to deal with that little punk ever again. The bald guy replied, "Exactly." Hong Shishu said, "Keep your eyes on him until it's 100% certain." The bald guy got the memo. Number 2, Xu Daojun found himself barefoot, standing on some totally unfamiliar ground. He stood in the forest, looking around like he couldn't believe his eyes. This is the Patisua Forest, my childhood hangout spot. This forest, every tree, every blade of grass, even the breeze and the way magic fills the air, right down to the shape of the clouds, looks exactly the same as I remember. If I head this way, yep, there it is, the world tree, carrying the purest magic flow. Seriously, it's an ancient spirit tree. The last world went kaboom, all because this tree got torched and the magic flow just poof, shut down. But the world tree is still standing strong. Well, who knows, maybe I can get my old powers back. Number 3, Xu Daojun was wrapped in a blue glow. In the darkness, there was a big exhale and a dramatic inhale. He just vibed in that chill blue glow. Every exhale sent light streaming around him, and every inhale made his already buff body even more solid. Another breath, eyes shut tight, face calm as a lake. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, he sat at the heart of a giant tree, a light orb just floating by his side. I even forgot to eat or drink, just spent a whole 10 days breathing and nothing else. Under the moonlight, he let out a long dramatic sigh, followed by a sharp snap. His eyes snapped open, golden pupils narrowing. Burkina, the sound of cracking echoed through the woods. Clawed monsters started popping out of the shadows, closing in with this super creepy purple glow. He looked down and thought, so these are the guys who once toasted the world tree to a crisp. The monsters shrieked and swarmed the world tree, blasting streams of spooky purple light straight up. He looked down and thought, man, if only I had a water sword right now. A monster roared and lunged, another right behind it. Whatever, blue energy burst out all over me, time to smash everything to bits. Energy pooled in his hand. He bent down, gathering strength, and let loose a torrent of energy. The monster screamed in pain, its body shredded in a flash. Another monster came at him with a roar, but the blue energy wrapped around him and gobbled it up in a flash. He let his magic rip, turning all that gathered power into a gas and just, boom, blew it up. He let out a slow breath. Man, it's been ages since I pumped in this much magic. Number 5. The leftover monsters roared together, charging again. With a flash of white light, the monsters were sliced in half on the spot. His gaze was sharp, staring down the purple energy. His reflection showed up on the pure white water, looking all dramatic. He stopped, took a sec, and made sure the world tree was all good. He grinned. All right, time to see for myself what my own magic can really do. The monsters stepped up, roaring with open mouths. Blue energy exploded from below, piercing through the monsters instantly. A tidal wave of energy swept across the whole place, exploding into a massive donut-shaped shockwave. The energy burst, and that ring-shaped blast just wiped everything out. The last monster turned to ash, and among the charred remains, a red crystal stone glowed. He looked down and said, "It's over." Number 6. He walked to the glowing crystal stone, grinning, and said, "Once I deal with you, I can snag the eternal flame, right?" He flashed a grin, his golden eyes sparkling, and said, "If I remember right, the odds are actually pretty good." He dove right into the monster mob. Seriously, how many drops are you guys hiding? He weaved through the monsters, fists and feet flying, shattering them one by one into ash. Under the world tree, peace returned, a few red crystal stones scattered on the ground. There was also a golden coin shining. He reached out to pick it up. Eternal flame? He grinned, didn't expect to snag this again. The coin turned into golden flames. He watched the flames dance in his palm, a slight smile on his lips. It'd be awesome to draw more magic from the world tree, but this body can't handle it. The only way now is to absorb this fire seed, to turn my magic into fire magic. Golden flames flowed within him. The old me didn't need to absorb fire seeds at all, but now just absorbing one takes 10 minutes. He stretched, looking down at the ground. The ground was littered with loot, red crystal stones, and golden fire seeds. I need to absorb as much as possible. Number 7. Under the world tree, he stood alone, surrounded by a faint glow. Black thorns twisted in the air. The crowd was restless. The reporter snapped a photo and the flash went off. The man gritted his teeth and said, "Damn it," glaring ahead. "Just because of a madman. What is this?" Behind Fang Shanju, who was suited up, a blue-haired young man spoke. He wanted to save his sister. The guy, Kim Hyun-woo, went on, "Yeah, that's just what he says." He heard that awakening in the rift zone is easy, so he rushed in without a care. "If you want to die, go die yourself, making a mess of things." "So what did Brother Gilma say?" Fang Shanju said, "Follow the manual, wait for the tide." But why did rifts pop up at the same time in the US, China, the UK, Turkey, and Switzerland? Huh? Looks like Gilma's swamped because of this. This is the first time such a thing has happened. Those guys quickly got it under control, but we're screwed. All because of that useless jerk, the one who went in first. Get out of there quickly. "Watch me knock you into next week," Fang Shanju roared, clenching his fist. Monsters are literally spilling out of the crack. It's been 28 days since the new crack appeared, and the Hero Association announced that if the first ordinary person to enter hasn't shown up by the next day, the monster wave is classified as level 1. On the big screen, a blurry figure appeared. A man wearing sunglasses pressed the remote control and slowly exhaled a puff of smoke. "Is that Shu Daojun?" Kim Yong-gu answered, "Yes, President." "I've had my men confirm it. It's definitely Shu Daojun." This man, Kim Yong-gu, is the trusted assistant of President Hwang Chang-seop. Hwang Chang-seop asked, "What do you think are the chances of that guy coming back alive?" Kim Yong-gu replied, "If he's an ordinary person, there's no need to discuss it. He doesn't even have an E rank." The president grinned. "Ordinary person, ridiculous. The idiots at the Hero Association, lacking information and blindly commanding. What if he's an awakened one? If he's an awakened one, then it depends on what level of hero he is." "Honestly, it's hard to judge," Hwang Chang-seop said. "Being able to fight and survive in the crack are two different things." "What do you want to do?" "Keep an eye on them for now. Just ensure their safety. And if he kicks the bucket, we'll just sell his family's organ. If he comes back, say we took care of him and saddle him with debt." Under the world tree, light was swirling around. Shu Daojun's eyes glowed, flames rose around him. "How long has it been?" "I've absorbed hundreds of the undying flames. Now I can use fire magic anytime. My fire resistance has greatly increased. In terms of fire attributes, I'm stronger than when I was the sword god." He reached out to touch the world tree, murmuring, "Past and present. Thank you, world tree." He placed the red crystal into a net bag. "I may never see you again, but if we meet again and you're in danger, I will protect you." He stood under the world tree, surrounded by light. Under the moonlight, Shu Daojun walked out of the crack. No signs within a kilometer radius. Have those preparing for the wave evacuated? There's a stronger presence here. He ran swiftly, crossing the steps. He peeked from the corner, looking at 2 men in suits. Judging by their attire, they should be from the last group. Getting caught would be trouble. Flames ignited in his palm. He threw a fireball. The fireball whistled towards the police station building, exploding with a roar. Kim Hyun-woo shouted, "What sound is that?" Fang Shanju replied, "It's fire."
The two leaped onto the roof. The crowd below panicked.
Fang Shanju anxiously asked, "What's going on? Why is there a fire here?" Xu Daojun looked at the burning city and thought, "The nature and precision of the flames are good. Even you would admire these flames, wouldn't you? You must be very pleased, right? The continent's strongest fire mage, Kim Hyun-woo, I Ching, hold up, what?" Fang Shanju was confused and Kim Hyun-woo chimed in, "Something's off with the crack." The two of them dashed toward it. Fang Shanju looked up in horror. "What's wrong with the crack?" The crack is vanishing. It's just fading away in the sky. Xu Daojun walked up the steps with his backpack. He turned his face, his eyes cold. Latest news, the new crack in Mapo district disappeared this morning. Right on the 29th day after Mr. Xu entered the rift, just when everyone expected a monster wave, the Hero Association was totally caught off guard and is now scrambling to figure out what happened. Meanwhile, an unexplained fire also occurred at a nearby scrap station, sparking public discussion. Someone said, "After Mr. Xu went into the crack, he probably kicked the bucket, right?" Another said, "Serves him right. It's common sense to stay away when a crack appears." One guy said, "Come on, the dude's already dead. Is there any point in saying all that?" Someone else chimed in, "Don't be so naive. If that crack hadn't closed, Seoul would have turned into a war zone ages ago." Xu Daojun thought, "If it really disappeared, then I may never see the World Tree again? It's a pity, but maybe it's for the best and I still have things to protect." In front of the Yeongdongpo HCS Capitol building, Xu Daojun paused. 2 thugs were smoking in the stairwell. The black-haired thug said, "That bastard is dead. The old lady and the kid are done for too." The other guy replied, "Obviously the boss isn't just some regular dude. He's gonna squeeze 10 times more out of them at least." The black-haired thug added, "Who cares about the old lady, but that little girl's gonna turn out pretty cute when she grows up. The boss is probably already thinking about how to use her." Xu Daojun nailed it, his eyes shining gold as he asked, "Where's your boss?" A car pulled up and the chairman hopped out, humming a tune while fixing his hair. He laughed heartily and said, "That guy is dead. I can finally sleep peacefully." "Mr. Kim, what's today's schedule?" Kim Yeon-gu replied, "Lunch with Representative Baek, no arrangements for the evening." The president said, "Is that so? Then hit up Mrs. Kang and let her know I'm dropping by tonight and have the new girls get dolled up too." Kim Yeon-gu replied, "Okay, President." The two went up the stairs. The president was shocked. Xu Daojun swung a punch. The thug fell with a sound. Blood splattered on the president's neck. He was kicked and flew, landing heavily on the ground. The president was coughing up blood, staring at the hooded figure in front of him. Xu Daojun ordered, "Crawl over here like a dog." The president was shaking as he crawled over, inch by inch. Xu Daojun stepped down hard. "Didn't you hear me?" The president lay flat on the ground, too scared to lift his head. Xu Daojun kept lecturing. "Losers like you don't even count as people. Go on, bark like a dog." The president is shaking all over. Woof, 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 woof. His face is covered in sweat and tears, barking like crazy. Woof, woof, woof. Xu Daojun says, louder. Then Xu Daojun goes on, "You're always kissing up to people and then stabbing them in the back whenever you get the chance. Huang Changxi, do you think you're the first rat I've dealt with?" The president rolled and crawled, pleading for mercy. "Spare me. I'll be as loyal as a dog." Xu Daojun snapped, "Shut up." He kicked out, sending the president crashing to the ground.
Xu Daojun added, "Four eyes bastard."
Kim jumped in surprise. Xu Daojun said, "From now on, you're the boss. Stop risking your neck for this trash." "For you guys, taking out your boss is no biggie, right? Go ahead, you have my permission." The president collapsed to the ground, and Mr. Kim was so freaked out he swallowed hard. Mr. Kim bows and says, "But the boss knows a ton of people. If I suddenly become the boss, everyone's gonna think something's up. How about just letting him off this time?" Xu Daojun muttered, "Why are you so dense? Toss him in a barrel and dump him in the sea. Or just crush him at the junkyard. Pretty much your specialty, right? If you really don't want to do it, I can just toss you into the gate and let the monsters have you." The president's face was covered in blood as he begged, "Please spare me. I'll be your loyal servant forever. I swear, just let me live." Xu Daojun looked at the president kowtowing and thought, "If I just get rid of Huang Changxiop here, everything will be wrapped up nice and tidy." He said, "Have you gone soft because you love me? Fine." He reached out to help the president up, who was full of gratitude, quickly saying, "I've been wrong all along. From now on, I'll serve you." Before he could finish, Flames engulfed his wrist. Ha! The president screams in agony. This is your last chance. Shu Daojun just waves his hand. And poof, the president goes up in smoke. Mr. Kim gasped in horror. Shu Daojun turned around and said, if my family even gets a scratch, you're all done for. You must guard them 24/7 for the rest of your lives. The official story is that Daojun vanished with the rift. The government, Hero Association, and all media have accepted Daojun's death. Even if I tell them I'm alive, it'll only cause trouble. Huang Changxian will help me find a new place soon, so just take your time moving. Yunyin was munching on a burger, grinning as she spoke. Hey, moving house right now is kinda awesome. Shu Daojun says, now you can go to kindergarten and hang out with friends, and next year you can start school too. Yunying goes quiet. Shu Daojun asked, why don't you want to go to kindergarten? Yunying replied, the kids all make fun of me because I don't have parents. His eyes narrowed and he said, it's fine. You don't have to go. No need to see those jerks. Just start school next year. Yunying lit up. Really? I don't have to go to kindergarten. Yunying grinned with pure joy. Shu Daojun said, nope, Yun's not going. He wonders, should I send him to some fancy private school so people don't look down on him? Shu Daojun's voice pops up. You seriously made Grandma and the kids stay at a motel? Are you dumb? Kim mumbles. Our company runs this motel, so it's totally safe. Shu Daojun just says, whatever. He opened the door and went in. When Yunying saw Shu Daojun, she shouted, it's big, bro! She ran straight into his arms, and Grandma, holding her hand, said, Daojun, you really made it back alive, Daojun. Yunying hugged him too, crying, brother, brother! Looking at Yunying with soft eyes, he said, yeah, I'm back. Yunying asked, bro, are you a hero too? Daojun replied, why? Do you want me to be one? Yunying shook her head. Nope, I actually hope you're not. Daojun asks, why? Yunying goes, because heroes have to fight freaky monsters. Sometimes they even die. All I want is for you to stay with me and Grandma forever and ever. He went quiet for a moment. Yunyin called, brother. Shu Daojun repeated the words in his heart. I hope brother can live with me and Grandma forever. In the harsh world of the past, I was the last human survivor. I spent a long time fighting monsters, losing many things. Unknowingly, precious things I had long forgotten appeared beside me. Here, in this place, I think I can quietly guard this happiness. A helicopter landed at the Korean Hero Association building. Korean Hero Association founder, World Hero Union director Luo Tai-hwang asked, did you really find nothing? The secretary replied, no, we have no information on the current situation. Very sorry. Luo Tai-hwang said, really frustrating. That means spontaneously appearing rifts could appear again at any time. The secretary answered, yes. It's seriously risky if anything unexpected pops up. If it was just a wave, Luo Tai-hwang chimes in, hey, watch your mouth. Considering people's safety, it's a fortunate result. The secretary said, oops, my bad, I totally put my foot in my mouth. Luo Tai-hwang is basically one of the top 100 most respected heroes in the world. Rumor has it, if he ran for president, he'd snag more votes than anyone ever, like totally break the record. If he wanted, he could totally topple the big money tycoons back home without even breaking a sweat. But what he's actually into isn't being president or taking down the big money folks. He's all about keeping people safe and getting ready for whatever weird stuff pops up. Even if it takes a while, let's dig in and double check everything. The secretary replied, got it. Also, the folks living in the rift zone are down to sell their houses. Luo Tai-hwang said, got it, that's great. Let's offer more than the market price so they won't feel let down. It'd be nice if we could give a little comfort to those who've lost their families. He paused, thinking. Apparently this rift thing is popping up in other countries at the same time too. Something just feels kinda sus. The secretary asked, haven't the US and China already got this thing under control? Tai-hwang said the real problem is that all of Britain's reliable heroes have already been sent off to deal with other rifts. His computer pinged, and when he saw the message, his eyes went wide. No way, this can't be real. Breaking news, World Hero Association emergency update. There's a surge at the UK Rift. Heads up, the UK's Rift is acting up. World Hero Association, UK Rift wave incoming, warning, warning. Outside the Jiashan Hero Complex, Shu Daojun was strolling down the street. He walked into a shop, and just as the clerk was about to greet him, they caught sight of him and freaked out, immediately turning to the manager. Boss, that's the guy. The manager glanced at the photo in the newspaper and asked, is it him? Then the manager turned to Shu Daojun and asked, is that you? When I wasn't around, you were making people buy those low-tier crystals. Shu Daojun grinned. Great timing. I've got a ton of magic crystals to sell today. Been hoping someone with a higher rank would show up. He chucked the bag of crystals onto the floor. The manager thought, ugh, looks like you brought another pile of cheap junk, just like last time. He said, I'm not doing business with you anymore. Move along. Shu Daojun said, "So you're backing out of the deal?" The manager replied, "You probably don't realize, but charging just a 1% fee is basically losing money for me. We're done here. Take your stuff and go." Shu Daojun grinned and said, "You're gonna regret this, you know."
The manager said, "Ugh, there's just no reasoning with you, huh? Even the main gate center charges a 5% fee."
There's a reason for it. It's all because of the magic crystal supply chain. Whatever. I don't need to explain all this to you anyway. The manager's eyes narrowed. "Take your bag and get out. Don't come back." Shu Daojun gave the bag a kick, and red crystals spilled all over the floor. The clerk and manager are gobsmacked. "Hold up, those are hero magic crystals." "Wait, is that the legendary hero magic crystal? The one that's worth literally whatever someone's willing to pay? Why on earth is it here?" Shu Daojun shrugged. "If you don't want them, whatever. Hero magic crystals. Get this. The infamous Mexican drug lord Corsaman was breaking these down to make drugs. And bam. He unlocked his powers and turned into a hero. Since then, these crystals blew up as the go-to for heroes to awaken their powers, and they became the internet-famous magic boosters everyone wanted. Called hero magic crystals, they're super rare energy sources and totally top-shelf stuff. The clerk and manager are just standing there, jaws on the floor. Shu Daojun said, "Pack them up. I'm heading out." The manager and clerk scrambled to gather the crystals. Sir, could you please take a seat and wait just a moment?" The clerk was frantically trying to polish the gold stones. The manager said, "Sir, isn't a 0.5% fee kind of steep?" Shu Daojun replied, "Then just don't do it." The manager quickly added, "No, that's not what I meant. I'm just curious why you dropped it to 0.5. "Because I'm just not in the mood." The manager bowed deeply, saying, "I sincerely apologize. I spoke without thinking." Shu Daojun replied, "I'm honestly sick of hearing apologies. Just say yes or no." The clerk thought to themselves, "Ugh, this freaking jerk, so rude." The manager said, "Alright, magic crystals are super rare stuff. Some companies might buy them at market price with zero fees, but not all of them. This is getting way too long." Shu Daojun chimed in, "If you're not into talking, just skip it." The manager grabbed him and said, 9%. At this price, we're already losing money. Shu Daojun replied, "Then just don't lose money." The manager went on, 98%. Seriously, if my boss finds out, he'll kill me. Shu Daojun shot back, "Then maybe don't do things that'll get you killed. 7% is as low as it gets." Shu Daojun added, "Nobody's making you drop the price." The manager protested again, 6%. That's literally no profit at all. "Do you think a businessman can survive without making money?" The clerk was polishing a crystal stone, and the store manager was kneeling on the ground. Shu Daojun said, "For old time's sake, I'll be merciful. Take 1%. The store manager roared internally, "You damned extortionist." Shu Daojun said, "I'll tell you in advance. I still expect things like this." The store manager's face turned pale. "Hey, what are you standing there for?" "Hurry up and prepare the contract." The clerk quickly responded, Yes, sir." The phone indicated a deposit of 67 billion Korean won. At this rate, a 10 billion won house doesn't seem far off. The only issue is obtaining high-grade magic crystals. Ordinary doors aren't enough. If only I could freely travel through the rift zones. My phone buzzed with an alert, and the store manager blurted out, "Wait, is it a wave or something now?" "Oh, it's just the UK? I thought it was something serious." Shu Daojun's golden eyes stared, sharp as ever. An alert flashed across the sky, fluctuations appeared in southern England, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs advised citizens to adjust their travel plans. His gaze remained steady. Shu Daojun mocked, "People without real skills love to put on airs." He walked into the crowd, his figure disappearing. "In the past, no matter which country or association stepped forward, I would seal the rift. But not anymore." The barbecue sizzled on the grill, and Grandma and Yun Young looked amazed. The three sat around the dining table. Grandma said worriedly, "Daojun, 100 grams costs 250,000. Isn't that too expensive?" Daojun took a sip and said, "I made a lot of money this time. Don't worry, eat as you please." Yun Young picked up a piece of grilled meat to enjoy. She took a bite and her eyes sparkled. He looked blissful.
Grandma took a bite, looking all serious and focused.
Daojun watched quietly, then told the waiter, "We'll have 4 orders of fresh short ribs, ribeye, sirloin, and chuck steak." Grandma's eyes went wide and she blurted out, "Isn't that way too much?" "How are we supposed to finish all this?" Daojun said, "Let's just go all out and eat today, Grandma. You should have some more too." Daojun happily munched on the meat. Grandma lowered her eyes and exclaimed, "Oh my!" Yun Young held up a piece of meat and said, "Grandma, this meat is so good, you have to try it." She popped the meat into Grandma's mouth, and Grandma praised, "Our Yun Young really is such a sweet kid." Grandma took a bite. Her face lighting up with happiness. The three sat around the table, enjoying themselves.
A figure in a long coat approached. Footsteps sounded.
Hyun Ju-yeon walked through the restaurant, heading straight to their table. He spoke up. "Are you Mr. Shu Daojun?" Daojun turned to look at him. Hyun Ju-yeon said, "Can we talk for a sec?" He stood by the table and said, "You're that hero, right?" Daojun cut him off. Can't you see I'm in the middle of a family meal here? Whatever it is, wait until I'm done. Dao Jun looked at him coldly. He remained silent. He turned away thinking, come on, I'm Hyun Ju-yeon. He gritted his teeth, looking super annoyed. Hyun Ju-yeon gave in and said, all right then. He turned and walked off thinking, what kind of guy just ignores me like that? He headed over to the waiting area and sat down. Other diners started sneaking glances and whispering to each other. The diners were whispering, wait, isn't that Hyun Ju-yeon? S-class hero, global superstar Hyun Ju-yeon, and she's just sitting there, arms crossed. Yeah, for sure. She's totally one of the world's top 10 most gorgeous heroes, but who's she waiting for? Daring to make Hyun Ju-yeon wait? Hyun Ju-yeon pondered. Shu Dao-jun stepped into a portal for the first time 2 months ago, and actually made it out alive. Guess he woke up back then. Everyone thought he died in the Maples incident, but nope, he's here, munching away right in front of me.
Just one glance and a single sentence had me totally on edge.
A newbie who's only been awakened for less than 2 months already hit S-class, while that oil tycoon who spent years hoarding magic stones took a whole 5 years to get there. He clenched his fist. That guy can't be S-class, he must have some special ability. The door creaked open. Dao Jun and his family stood up. An Young smiled and said, thanks for the treat. Dao Jun turned to face Hyun Ju-yeon. A shoe suddenly stepped down, blocking their family's path. Dao Jun's eyes sharpened. A burly man grinned wildly. Yo, Shu Dao-jun, looks like I'm not seeing things. How did you crawl out of that door? Dao-jun thought. Jiang Jaeyu, he leaned closer to Dao-jun. I know you're like a cockroach, but I didn't expect you really are a cockroach. Hyun Ju-yeon's heart trembled. Of all people, it's Jiang Jaeyu. Jiang Jaeyu confronted Dao-jun. Grandma and Young were taken aside. Dao-jun turned to Hyun Ju-yeon. Hey, didn't you say you had something to discuss with me? He looked bewildered. Jiang Jaeyu turned back and said, Hyun Ju-yeon. He impatiently covered his face and said, what? Dao Jun said, I'll listen to you. Hey, could you look after my family for a bit? Xuan Juyan blinked, totally puzzled. So what's going on with you? Dao Jun shrugged. Just grab a cab and send them home for me. I've got a few scores to settle. Outside the restaurant, Xuan Juyan called a cab for Dao Jun's family and said, don't stress, just head home. He waved at the little girl in the car. Bye-bye, cutie. The taxi zoomed off and he let out a big sigh. In the distance, police lights flickered, a sharp slap echoed, and Dao Jun pulled back his hand. He kept his chill while everyone around was totally freaking out. Jiang Jaeyu clutched his face, totally shocked. He snapped, you jerk, I swear! His eyes flashed red, raging hard.
The waitress rushed over to stop them, saying, hey, you can't do that here! Jiang Jaeyu yelled, move it! And shoved her to the ground, making her yelp in shock. The restaurant instantly turned into total chaos. Diners freaking out and running for their lives. Get out of here now, Jiang Jaeyu yelled. You got a death wish or something?
I'm asking you. Jerk, you wanna die? A blue light flashed. Dao Jun swung a punch, his eyes shining bright. Jiang Jaeyu hit the ground with a thud, groaning like he just stepped on a Lego. He staggered and knelt, while Dao Jun looked down at him. Jiang Jaeyu, you dragged me to that portal, locked me up to die, right? We've got a lot to talk about, am I right? Jiang Jaeyu, panting, shot back. What's there to even talk about with someone whose own dad ditched them? Dao Jun pulled out his phone and hit record. He pointed it at Jiang Jaeyu on the ground. Say it again. Jiang Jaeyu grinned and said, move it! What am I supposed to say? His eyes sparked with rage. Should I say your mom's a bitch or something? He screamed like he'd totally lost it. Jiang Jaeyu yelled, drop dead! Shu Dao-jun? Dao Jun's eyes widened as a blazing fist came flying at him. Dao Jun blocked it with one hand, then with a smooth move yeeted Jiang Jaeyu across the room. Jiang Jaeyu was in total disbelief. Wait, did my punch just get bounced off? Dao Jun reached out, blue light swirling around his hand.
He slammed Jiang Jaeyu to the ground, then descended upon him.
The dull thuds of blows continued. The waitress, totally freaking out, whipped out her phone. Police? What's the emergency number again? Xuan Juyan calmly pressed the hang-up button and said, relax, I've got this. He handed over a business card. Oh, Miss Xuan Juyan. The waitress breathed a grateful, thank you, thank you. The heavy sounds of blows kept coming. Dao Jun was still beating Jiang Jaeyu. Xuan Juyan watched quietly from the side. Jiang Jaeyu, despite being a B-level hero, was beaten without any chance to fight back. Could he be stronger than B-level? No way. Could he actually be higher than A rank? She turned to leave, the click-clack of her heels echoing away. Even if he's A rank, there's no way he should be mopping the floor with a B rank this easily. Shu Daojun, Xuan Juyan called out to stop him. You might kill him. He glanced sideways, kicked Jiang Jaeyu aside and asked, that guy, how much do you know about Jiang Jaeyu? Xuan Zhuyan said, I think I know enough. Dao Jun said, why? Is it important? Xuan Zhuyan replied, of course it's important. Zhang Jiayu's cousin is S-level hero Zhang Yongshao. Dao Jun said, I know, so what? Xuan Zhuyan was shocked. He already knew.
But judging by his attitude, he didn't seem to care about the consequences. This guy is really reckless.
Zhang Jiayu can act so recklessly because of Zhang Yongshao's protection. That means your actions now are very dangerous. Zhang Jiayu was lying flat on the ground while Dao Jun flashed a smug little grin. Xuan Zhuyan said, I roughly know your grievances, but don't expect Zhang Yongshao to understand. Xuan Zhuyan asked, so you're not afraid of Zhang Yongshao? Dao Jun said, compared to that, you knowing so much about me makes me a bit concerned. The two locked eyes, their gazes clashing, while the waitress trembled behind the counter. Shu Daojun and Xuan Zhuyan faced off, the air tense. His face was totally unreadable, while Xuan Zhuyan just stared him down. He apologized, hey, sorry for dropping by out of the blue, my uncle kinda sent me here.
You went to Gashan Stone Man and sold the magic stones to him, right?
Sell those to me, please, Shu Daojun asked calmly. How many do you want? Xuan Zhuyan looked up and said, Mr. Shu Daojun, I want everything you've got. He shrugged. I've got loads. A smirk crept onto his lips, and Xuan Zhuyan shot him a confident grin. An S-rank hero's stash is way beyond what you can imagine. Shu Daojun chimed in, not saying I won't sell, but I do have a condition. Xuan Zhuyan asked, what's the catch? Shu Daojun glanced down. Nothing dramatic. He just straight up called you by name. No big deal for you. Meanwhile, on the other side of Xuan Zhuyan, a teacup suddenly exploded, and Hong Shizhu shouted, wait, didn't you say he was toast? You said he went into the new rift thingy. Isn't he dead already? The bald man was sweating profusely and said, I'm terribly sorry. Even the Hero Association thought he was dead. Hong Shizhu scolded, don't make excuses. How do you plan to handle this? The bald man bowed and said, before we get started, I gotta drop some news. Zhang Jiayu got his butt kicked by Shu Daojun. Hong Shizhu froze for a second. Zhang Jiayu, that absolute mad dog. His eyes darkened. Wait, does Shu Daojun already know something? She bit her lip thinking, if my dad or my husband finds out, it'll be a total headache. But hey, I can handle it. The real trouble would be if the media got hold of it, causing the group's stock to nosedive. He suddenly jumped up. Gotta stop this. He pointed at the bald guy and said, stop the media for me. If this goes public, W Group will pull all our ads and shut us out. And the cops, make them zip it for now. Right away, the bald guy calmly reported. The cops and the media, already sorted. Hong Shishu let out a huge sigh and just melted into his chair. Phew, nice work, Director Lee. Director Lee leaned in and said, but you know this isn't really solving the root problem, right? He whispered into his ear. Speaking of which, Jiang Jiayu's cousin is Zhang Yongshao. He was shocked. Zhang Yongshao, that Zhang Yongshao. Zhang Jiayu is infamous in the hero world, rumored to be doted on by Zhang Yongshao. But in reality, he's just Zhang Yongshao's errand boy, handling all the dirty work. Director Lee chimed in. He handles all the dirty work for him. If Jiang Jiayu gets dragged into police or media drama, it's bad news for Jiang Yongshao too, so it looks like he's already making moves. Hong Shizhu gave the order. We gotta meet him ASAP, set it up quick. Director Lee bowed. Got it. Hong Shizhu asked again. Chairman Huang Changseop from HCS Capital. Is he bailing on us? Director Lee confirmed. Yup, he's busy looking after Dao Jun's family now. His gaze turned icy. Contact Prosecutor Park ASAP. If he ditched me for someone else, he's gonna pay for it. At the Rift Zone entrance, barbed wire stood tall. Xu Daojun and Yun Juyan's squad rolled up to the gate. There are 37 Rift Zones in Korea. 5 of them are straight up turning into portals, and the rest can only be tackled by the Hero Association. The guard handed back their IDs and said, Ms. Hyun Juyeon, your identity's been verified. Happy exploring. The group headed into the dimly lit cave, and Xu Daojun scoped out the place. Yep, just one way in. Even though everyone knows who Hyun Juyeon is, they still have to go full detective mode and check everything. Association A-rank hero Witness Ju spoke up. I seriously didn't expect you to suggest hunting in the rift area first. Hyun Juyeon grinned smugly, just wanted to spice things up a bit. The others gave her a look, while Zhu Daojun quietly watched them, thinking. Here's my deal. Just let me into the Rift Zone, and I'll sell you all my magic stones at market price. Hyun Juyeon asked why, and Xu Daojun replied, because hunting in the Rift Zone is way more profitable. Hyun Juyeon thought to herself, all this just for that reason? Coming to a place this dangerous? He's actually nuts. Hyun Juyeon thought to herself, whatever. It's just my uncle's business anyway, and I don't even need magic stones. He stepped out of the cave and into the sunny forest. Jung In-ju leaned in and whispered, "Seriously, who is that guy?" Hyun Ju-yeon replied casually, "Just someone I know." Jung In-ju looked super skeptical. "Just someone you know? You really think I'd buy that?" She kept on guessing. Could it be a situationship? Hyun Ju-yeon shot that down right away. "Of course not, I just owe him a favor and want to pay it back." Jung In-ju asked, curious. "Owe someone a favor? Even S-rank heroes can have IOUs?" The rest of the team started gossiping. "Wait, for real? That actually happens?" The wind rustled through the leaves. Everyone jumped, suddenly looking up. Shu Daojun's eyes sharpened, and the group split up, ready for action. A shrill screech ripped through the sky. A giant bird-like monster dived down. Witness Ju yelled in panic. "It's a cockatrice!" Hyun Ju-yeon instantly shouted out orders. "In-ju and Dao-yeon, you guys handle defense. Seung-ho, go for its legs." Suddenly, someone dashed past. Dao-jun jumped up and was already soaring sky-high. Hyun Ju-yeon shouted, "Shu Dao-jun OMG!" Everyone was totally gobsmacked as he hovered in mid-air and said, "All chill! First one!" Then came this ear-splitting tearing sound from above, and Shu Dao-jun dove straight down. Witness Ju clicked his tongue in annoyance. The moment we step into the portal, chaos kicks off. The cockatrice charges at us out of nowhere, and Hyun Ju-yeon snaps out orders fast. In-ju and Dao-yeon on defense, Seung-ho goes for its legs. Shu Dao-jun turns into a streak of black, eyes glinting gold. He landed heavily, blocking the monster's path. The monster lifted its head, and his right fist flared up with golden fire. With a flaming punch, he clocked the monster right in the face. Boom! The impact exploded, and a massive wave of energy swallowed everything up. Shu Dao-jun landed with style. Hyun Ju-yeon stood ready with her sword, and the cockatrice crashed to the ground, totally KO'd, not even twitching. Seung-ho was just standing there, mind blown. "What the heck just happened? It died with one hit?" Shu Dao-jun spoke coldly. "Not yet." He stepped forward, leaped up, and stomped heavily on the monster's head. Everyone looked at Witness Ju in shock, asking in disbelief, "Who is that guy?" Hyun Ju-yeon murmured, "Just a powerful human." Witness Ju grabbed him and was like, "So this is what a powerful human looks like. Seriously, how many heroes can one-shot a chicken snake beast?" Xuan Juyan tried to play it cool and said, "Pfft, my sister could totally do that too."
Genju patted him on the shoulder. "Don't be ridiculous. He couldn't even dodge in midair and got taken out with a single punch." Xuan Juyan clenched her teeth. That freaking monster. She stared at Shu Dao-jun's back thinking, who on earth is this guy?
Xuan Juyan brought up her sister. "We gotta switch up the plan." She pulled out her communicator. "I'll swing by the center." With that, she turned to leave. "Excuse me for a sec." Shu Daojun whipped out his knife, sliced open the monster's corpse, and fished out a magic stone. He handed over the magic stone and said, "I'm not sharing with people who didn't lift a finger." Xuan Juyan snorted. Wasn't planning to take it anyway. She put the magic stone in her backpack and said, "Your skills don't really fit here, you sure you want to head in deeper?" Shu Daojun grinned, gripping his knife. "Now this is getting interesting." Xuan Juyan said, "I know this place like the back of my hand. Let me lead the way. Just stick close and don't wander off." The two of them headed into the depths of the forest, one after the other. Xuan Juyan turned into a shadow, darting forward and disappearing ahead.
Zhu Daojun paused for a second, then bent his knees a little.
Suddenly, he kicked off the ground, causing it to crack and shot out like a cannonball. Everyone exclaimed in surprise. Seung-ho was full of shock. Wow, if Juyan is a bullet, then that person is light. Just light. The witness Ju asked the captain, "Aren't we going?" The captain smiled wryly. "Can you keep up?" The team members self-deprecatingly said, "Of course not." "Yeah, we're just background characters today. Let's just mess around and fight whatever's nearby." Everyone stared at the monster corpses at their feet, secretly thinking, people always call us A-rank heroes, but honestly, in front of the S-ranks, we're basically small fry, Juyan included, and that guy too. As Xuan Juyan sped through the forest, he wondered, should I slow down a little? Suddenly, a figure caught up to him, asking casually, "Can't you go any faster?" Xuan Juyan was so shocked, she let out a loud scream. Shu Daojun turned back to look at her, his eyes full of question marks. He was freaking out inside, like, what the heck is happening? He caught up with me. "When it comes to speed, I'm literally top 2 in Korea." Shu Daojun stopped and said, "You're even slower than I thought. You run like you're scared I'll catch up to you." Xuan Juyan's face turned bright red. "Who's scared of you catching up? When was I ever?" Shu Daojun pointed at a mountain in the distance and asked, "Hey, what's that place?" His eyes reflected the mountain and he said, "That's where the Rift's boss monster hangs out." Shu Daojun blinked, confused. "Boss monster?" Xuan Juyan nodded. "Yep. Ever heard of Caecilian?" A 20-meter-tall, two-legged dragon-looking beast. Xuan Juyan crossed her arms and said, "Don't even think about it. You'd need at least 3 S-rank heroes to take it down."
Shu Daojun asked, "Is that the one that drops the super rare magic stone?" Xuan Zhuyan, a bit annoyed, replied, "Yup, it's an imagination level magic stone, second only to the very top tier."
Are you even listening to me? He started walking towards the mountain. Xuan Zhuyan caught up and said, "You're not really thinking of challenging him, are you?"
"I didn't bring you here to do anything this reckless." Before she could even finish her sentence, he'd already bolted off like a blur.
He stared in shock like, OMG, what is he even trying to do? Then a shout rang out. Oh, turns out it's over there. The two of them turned into streaks of light and zoomed off toward the distant mountains.
Finally, they reached the mountain that was literally poking the sky.
With a loud crash, Xuan Zhuyan's purple eyes widened.
"What is this?"
Just now, a huge dragon-shaped monster fell to the ground with a thud, its armored body no longer moving. Xuan Zhuyan stood there, wondering what happened.
A black-haired man appeared beside the monster. It was Shu Daojun, holding a short sword.
Xuan Zhuyan watched the scene. Her heart shook. Cassilian's power is extremely strong. Only Park Hariel, a recognized S-level hero, could hunt such a monster.
Even when Park Hariel first challenged it, he brought 30 A-level heroes, all of whom perished, with only Park Hariel barely surviving.
Later, Park Hariel gathered 1 S-level and 200 A-level heroes for another fierce battle.
Countless attacks rained down on the monster. The heroes charged bravely, the monster let out painful roars, and countless heroes were knocked away. They finally succeeded in killing Cassilian, but most of the participating heroes sacrificed themselves. Park Hariel's Mega Guild Sweet Life still hasn't bounced back, even after 3 whole years. Shu Daojun stared at the monster's corpse.
Xuan Zhuyan glared at him angrily, biting her lower lip. "If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would never believe that terrifying Cassilian was killed by that man in one blow." Shu Daojun held a huge red magic crystal, which was Cassilian's core.
He silently looked at the magic crystal.
He popped the core into his bag.
"No need for bodyguards anymore. I'll handle things myself from now on." Xuan Zhuyan stared at the beast's corpse.
"Aren't you gonna take Cassilian's leftovers? Besides the core, its beak and claws are pretty valuable for research." Shu Daojun paused. He let out a little chuckle. "Nah, not worth it." Xuan Zhuyan looked super annoyed. "Honestly, I'd be way better off using that time to grab more magic crystals."
"The byproducts are yours now. Think of it as your tip for showing me the way." Shu Daojun waved goodbye.
Xuan Zhuyan stared at the monster's corpse. "I don't need it." In the distance, mountains rolled on forever.
There's a whole group of people hanging out in the forest clearing. There's this huge backpack just chilling on the grass. 3 of them are staring at it, totally gobsmacked.
Chen Hao said, "That guy borrowed a giant backpack, and when he came back, it was stuffed full of magic crystals. Can you even believe it?"
Renju chimed in. "That's a ton."
"It would take our guild at least 20 hours to hunt that much. Judging by all that stuff in there, it might actually take 3 whole days." Wang Zhuyan sat on a rock by herself. Sigh. Who even is this guy? The speed and the amount are just unreal. Renju shuddered. If Zhuyan's telling the truth, he beat Cassilian with 0 flashy gear, not even a full set.
Just that alone is enough to make him Korea's top hero, standing at the very peak all by himself. No, wait, maybe even the strongest in the whole world. He was left totally stunned. Shu Daojun came back again.
He stuffed another backpack full of magic crystals. Renju whispered, "He did it again. Filled up another whole bag like that." Even if we told people, no one would buy it. They'd just think we're nuts. Cheng Hao told everyone, "All right, just so we're clear, nobody says a word about what happened today. Not like anyone would believe us anyway." Daoyan laughed and replied, "Ha ha, true that." Shu Daojun and Xuan Zhuyan were chatting side by side, while everyone else watched from a distance.
Daoyan whispered slyly, "Are those two flirting or what?" Cheng Hao nodded.
"Yeah, for sure. I should have known the moment Xuan Zhuyan showed up with some random guy. A guy who can stand next to Xuan Zhuyan and not look out of place. Honestly, those two are such a good match, like total soulmates." Renju suddenly chimed in. "Hold up, this doesn't feel like flirting, it's just kinda weird."
That guy's kinda rude to Zhuyan.
"Who even is this guy? He actually dares to talk to her like that." Shu Daojun handed a stuffed backpack to Xuan Zhuyan. Xuan Zhuyan looked totally stunned.
"Wait, what?" They turned and walked off in opposite directions. Xuan Zhuyan exclaimed, "What? He just left, didn't even say goodbye." Shu Daojun's figure vanished into the woods.
Renju asked Xuan Zhuyan, "What about these backpacks?"
"He just left everything here." Xuan Zhuyan explained. He said if word gets out that I took down Caecilian, I'd be famous overnight. Renju was totally shook.
Xuan Zhuyan continued. But he said fame's a hassle and told me to handle it. Everyone was speechless.
Renju sighed. Seriously, who is this guy? Xuan Zhuyan stayed silent, cheeks flushed. Seriously, what kind of guy is he anyway? Somewhere in a modern city, at the BHY gym. Thud, thud. A silver-haired dude is going ham on a punching bag. Ha! His eyes sparkled, his moves swift. He kept throwing punches, totally relentless. By the end, he was gasping for breath.
Ooh, Park Hae-ryul, you're such a mess. This is Park Hae-ryul, S-Class Hero of the Korea Hero Association and President of the Sweet Life Guild.
A suited man handed him a towel. Boss, take it easy.
As they say, the lower a frog squats, the farther it jumps.
The more you endure now, the higher your rep will soar. Park Hae-ryul wiped his sweat. You're right, only then can I hit back hard at those who look down on me, the suited man agreed. Exactly. The more power you build up, the bigger the boom. They'll all bow before you, President. Hope flickered in Park Hae-ryul's eyes. The suited man continued. Besides, who knows better than you how to conquer Caecilian?
One day, your name will be legendary as the hero who took down Caecilian with the world's smallest team. He handed over a water bottle.
The Hero Association might even give you exclusive rights to subdue Caecilian. Park Hae-ryul took the water, smiling. Of course, no one knows him better than I do.
Ha! But then Park Hae-ryul stared at a photo from 3 years ago. Our guild's gotten way smaller compared to 3 years ago. Even so, I'm the only one who can catch that beast, right? The suited man laughed. Of course, President. Who else could do it but you? Ha 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 ha. A man looked at Xu Daojun's profile. Xu Daojun, this kid, he's the cousin of Jiang Yingbiao and Jiang Zheyu. A C-class hero of the Korean Hero Association, the suited man said. Yep, a few months back, someone tried to drag him inside and take him out. But not only did that guy survive, he actually unlocked some next-level powers.
Yep, you heard that right.
Keep going. The client's actually Hong Xiok-soo, executive director at T Group, and, plot twist, she's also the second daughter of W Group.
Kang Young-pyo slouched on the sofa. Man, she's the definition of a chaebol princess, so why is she messing with someone like him? As far as I know, Seo Do-jun's her husband's secret love child.
She was brought into the family when she was 7, but then 6 years ago, after Hong Hee-ju had her own son, he got kicked out. Even if you're related by blood, it basically means nothing in a chaebol family. Kang Young-pyo let out a cold snort of laughter. Haha, so how much did Cheol-woo make off this? 3 billion won, that's it.
And Cheol-woo's totally out of commission now, right? Kang Young-pyo grabbed a golf club.
Yeah, from what I hear, he got a serious beatdown and was badly burned. He even lost his eyesight and barely managed to cling to life. Kang Young-pyo got ready to take his swing. Tsk, what a stone-cold bastard. If it were me, I'd chop off his arms and legs, then smash his skull for good measure. A flicker of ruthlessness flashed in Kang Young-pyo's eyes.
And then, word on the street is Hyun Ju-yeon totally helped out Seo Do-jun at the scene.
With a swing, the golf ball rolled into the hole. Kang Young-pyo asked, wait, why her? Why Hyun Ju-yeon? Why'd she help him? What's up between him and that guy? Beats me, but thanks to her testimony, the cops just quietly wrapped up the whole thing. Kang Young-pyo grabbed the suit guy by the collar. Go find out ASAP what's really going on between them.
If there's nothing going on between them, then they definitely struck some kind of deal.
Find out exactly what's going on. The guy in the suit hurriedly replied, yep, on it, I'll check right away. The guy in the suit bolted out of there while Kang Young-pyo shot a nasty glare and snapped the golf club in half like it was nothing. Well, sooner or later, Hong Xiok-soo's people are gonna show up and ask me to finish what Cheol-woo couldn't. Well, she's a chaebol lady, she won't be short on cash. Kang Young-pyo licked his lips, eyes gleaming with greed. As night fell, a mansion stood quietly under the moonlight. Seo Do-jun was just strolling down the street. Turns out hunting in the rift is way more efficient than gate raids, but the catch is, I have to rely on Hyun Ju-yeon to get in and out. If I sell the Caecilian magic crystals, people are totally going to ask who scored them, and whether I can actually back up my skills. The media's gonna be on me non-stop, day and night, so for now I'll just stash these away. If you're aiming to get famous, hey, I won't get in your way. So, what's your move?
He handed the backpack stuffed with magic crystals to Hyun Ju-yeon.
Looks like I gotta figure out how to sneak into the rift zone. He headed towards a house, planning to chill for a bit in the new place set up for him in Hwangchang County.
He opened the door, and there were a few pairs of men's dress shoes and sneakers neatly lined up at the entrance. Suddenly, a girly voice called out,
"Bro!" Seo Do-jun stood at the door, totally confused.
In the living room were some unexpected guests, a blonde guy, an old man, and a little girl. There was a whole squad of guys in black suits standing behind them. The blonde guy's gaze was sharp. The little girl shouted, "Brother, brother!" and dashed into Seo Do-jun's arms.
"Who are you?" Seo Do-jun asked. The blonde guy spoke up. "Are you Seo Do-jun? I'm Prosecutor Park Cheo-young from the Seoul District Prosecutor's Office."
You know Mr. Hwang Chang-seop, right?
The blonde guy's eyes suddenly sharpened, and Seo Do-jun just went totally silent.
He shielded the little girl behind him. The prosecutor said, "You're under urgent arrest for being involved in the illegal loan shark business run by HCS Capital CEO Hwang Chang-seop." A few men in black moved in to surround Seo Do-jun. Outside a building, a sign for the prosecutor's office stood tall. Seo Do-jun was tied to a chair in the interrogation room.
A guy was on the phone in the hallway.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
Both Hwang Chang-seop and Seo Do-jun are acting super chill and cooperative.
Haha, thanks so much for taking care of my daughter's study abroad plans. Prosecutor Park Cheo-young leaned against the door, still chatting on the phone.
Send my regards to Director Hong. He glanced at Seo Do-jun in the interrogation room.
You know, the whole reason I became a prosecutor is to keep society's trash far away from decent people. Ha ha ha. He hung up the phone and strolled into the interrogation room, slapping a fat stack of papers down on the table.
"What have you been up to?" Prosecutor Park Cheo-young held the documents.
These charges alone could land you 10 years in the slammer. I've already gathered more than enough dirt from Hwang Chang-seop to nail you. Seo Do-jun just stared at him blankly, and the prosecutor sneered. Look at this little punk. Think I'm just talking big. He leaned in closer to Seo Do-jun.
It was that bitch Hong Hee-ju who did it, right? Seo Do-jun was like, "Who? Hong Hee-ju? Never heard of her. Judging by the way he's acting, they must have already taken care of Hwang Chang-seop's crew."
I only came with them because I wanted to avoid drama.
But at this rate, the prosecutor stood up. "Listen, kid, I don't know what you've heard or where you heard it."
But he walked over to Seo Do-jun like, "You really think Korean prosecutors are easy to mess with?"
Your life's in shambles.
You jerk. Shu Dao-jun's eyes lit up, and the prosecutor was knocked back by some mysterious force.
He stared at Shu Dao-jun, totally flabbergasted.
Huh?
"You jerk." He lunged at Shu Dao-jun, but his wrist got snagged by the handcuffs he'd just busted out of.
Just then, a guy in a suit knocked on the door. "Prosecutor Park, could you step outside for a sec?" The prosecutor left the interrogation room, all confused. "Huh?" He stared at the test report in the guy's hand. "Is this thing broken or what?" The guy in the suit answered, "Nope, sir. I double-checked it just to be sure. The equipment's working fine. How could the hero detector say he's just a regular dude?" Does that even make sense? That's Shu Dao-jun. Honestly, I'm not sure either. Maybe the intel on his awakening was just wrong. The prosecutor muttered to himself. This info was checked out for the company, so no way it's wrong. And he knows Hong Shik-su's name too. Who the heck is this guy? Shu Dao-jun sat in the chair. Now I get why Korean prosecutors are called useless dogs.
Maybe I should just wreck this place and take Grandma and Yun-yung somewhere safe. The interrogation room door swung open. "What are you doing here?" Hyun Ju-yeon walked in. "I'm not even sure myself."
Whatever you do, don't do anything rash.
I know it's frustrating, but if you use your power now, it'll just make things worse. Shu Dao-jun asked, "Are you gonna help me?" "Not exactly, it's just that I know you didn't do anything wrong. If I didn't know, it'd be different, but now that I know an innocent person is being framed, I have to set it right." Shu Dao-jun grinned. "Is that so?" Hyun Ju-yeon reminded. "The Hero Association's gonna start investigating you soon.
They're already keeping tabs on your fake hero license and that recent Mapo Rift mess."
Shu Dao-jun asked, "How's my family?"
Hyun Ju-yeon went quiet, then shot back with a sigh. "Do I look like your personal assistant? Why would I go check on your family for you?"
Hyun Ju-yeon caught Shu Dao-jun's look, sighed, and said, "Relax, your family's totally safe." Shu Dao-jun replied, "Thanks, I owe you one for this." Hyun Ju-yeon blushed a little. Anyway, just hang in there a bit longer, I'll sort this out ASAP." The way Hyun Ju-yeon handled things didn't just clear Shu Dao-jun's name, she even exposed Prosecutor Park Cheo-young for taking bribes.
And his shady side hustles got him fired. After a legit investigation, it turned out Shu Dao-jun had nothing to do with the recent drama. Due to the unauthorized hero license, he couldn't completely dodge punishment, but thanks to Hyun Ju-yeon's solid defense, he only got a suspended sentence. A car cruises down the road, and the screen inside is blasting the news. Some never-seen-before monster just popped up in the UK and is going wild attacking people.
This mantis-like beast is 15 meters tall, has 4 eyes, and can jump like crazy. Xu Daojun blurted out. It's Makassian. Hyun Ju-yeon asked, surprised. What?
How do you know? This is a newly discovered monster.
Right now, only the association knows its name. Xu Daojun explained, monster names aren't just randomly made up. Magic crystals aren't just packed with energy, they've also got their own special info inside.
By analyzing this, you can figure out details like the monster's name. On modern Earth, science is used for analysis, while in the destroyed world, magic is used. In other words, as long as the same monster appears in both worlds, Xu Daojun will naturally know their names. Makassian can be easily dealt with using the liquid of the red fire ant. Red fire ants are totally harmless to humans, but for Makassian, their venom is basically instant paralyze mode. If you spray that, they'll stop rampaging. Xu Daojun, who exactly are you? The car kept rolling, and the two fell into silence.
Hyun Ju-yeon was getting annoyed. Are you even listening right now? Xu Daojun mumbled to himself. What if I just went ahead and killed Hong Shik-su? A flicker of murderous intent flashed in his eyes.
Hong Shishu sat at his desk, looking tense, biting his finger. A bald guy stood in front of him. So, that's where things stand. Hong Shishu was silent for a moment, then asked, What's up with Hyun Ju-yeon anyway? The bald guy replied, We're still not sure what her connection to Xu Daojun is, or how she found out. Hong Shishu gnawed his nails. Seriously, what's her deal? Hong Shishu slammed the table. And Xu Daojun isn't a hero? What's that supposed to mean? Didn't they say he awakened? The bald guy replied. I have no clue how he found out, but come on, it's obvious he did awaken. But he might have some sort of hack that tricks the hero detector. We're just guessing though. Hong Shikshu yelled, Call Kang Youngpyo. 2 billion. No. Tell him I'll give him 3 billion. Get him started right now. Kang Youngpyo, chilling in his office, told his assistant, No way I'm doing this for just 3 billion. Tell him to double it. The subordinate asked, Isn't doubling it kind of over the top? Kang Youngpyo shot back, Nonsense. If you look at it from Hong Seok-su's perspective, I'm literally his only option. I mean, once this goes through, do you really think 60 billion is gonna phase him? Plus, now Hyun Ju-yeon's in the mix too. A glint of greed flashed in Kang Youngpyo's eyes. If it's an S-class opponent, he's gotta cough up that much, his sidekick chimed in. Hyun Ju-yeon, that guy's seriously dangerous. Kang Youngpyo slammed his fist on the table, making his subordinate jump out of his skin. Kang Youngpyo yelled at his underling. Ha, this idiot has absolutely no clue. You think all S-classes are the same? Give me 20 minutes and I'll have someone like Hyun Ju-yeon sorted out. The assistant nodded frantically, freaked out. Yup, totally. Kang Youngpyo asked, Did the association get back to us? His subordinate replied, Yeah, because of the situation in the UK, they can't bump up the payment anymore. The association already told everyone they're carefully picking which heroes to send. Kang Youngpyo grumbled impatiently. Ugh, seriously? They make it sound so grand and official. You'd feel awkward just saying it's not worth it and refusing to go. Those jerks at the association are even worse than gangsters. So, when are they heading out? The assistant replied. We'll be flying out in 3 days, and they've set us up to team up with some Japanese heroes, Kang Youngpyo said. Oh, Japan? I was planning to catch up with Takahashi anyway. He glanced out the window. Makassian, new monster on the block still waiting for someone to find its weak spot. Which means, if I figure out their weakness, my own stock is totally going up. Haha, lightning's crackling, clouds are rolling in. Super dramatic vibes. Cambridge, UK, people were screaming and running for their lives everywhere.
A giant mantis-like monster was causing chaos in the streets.
The monster roared, and a hero got ready to throw down. A squad of heroes stepped up, all set for a showdown. The monster let out a piercing scream, and one hero got knocked back, hitting the ground hard. A few heroes charged in, but got pushed back quickly. The monster roared, and a hero launched an energy ball. The energy orb smacked right into the monster, and with a dramatic bang, it crashed to the ground. The heroes looked at the fallen beast, finally able to breathe easy. A massive swarm of monsters came rushing in, dropping from the sky and landing with a thud.
A helicopter flew over, and the folks inside were shocked by the scene below. Oh my god, it's for real!
A hero shouted, Miss Hyun Ju-yeon was totally right! The red flower juice works wonders! Those Makassians can't handle it at all! That's insane. A guy stared at Hyun Ju-yeon. There's no way this woman's skills are actually this good. What on earth happened? Hyun Ju-yeon shouted. Let's wrap this up now. The heroes all yelled back together. Yup. The heroes jumped straight out of the helicopter and charged at the monster horde. Hyun Ju-yeon whipped out her weapon, eyes sparkling with excitement.
A plane landed at the airport and a swarm of reporters gathered at the exit.
Whoa, the media is literally everywhere. One reporter said, "No surprise, it's Hyun Ju-yeon. She's basically the MVP of the British expedition team." He cracked the code to Makazian's weakness and basically turned into a total hero. He legit saved the UK from total despair, so yeah, he's a real hero. Word is the British royal family is about to make him a knight. He's coming out, a reporter shouted excitedly. Hyun Ju-yeon and Kang Young-pyo walked out of the airport, surrounded by reporters. "Miss Hyun Ju-yeon, over here. How did you figure out Makazian's weakness?" Hyun Ju-yeon's smile was a bit awkward. "Mr. Kang Young-pyo, say a few words. We heard you bagged the most Makazian monsters on this expedition." A reporter turned to the camera and announced, "Today, 200 people, including hero Hyun Ju-yeon, are back home. As everyone knows, our Korean hero's stellar performance saved Britain." The key to hunting Makazian was the red flower ant juice sprayed in the air. A hooded man watched the news on the big screen in the crowd, a slight smile on his lips. Kang Young-pyo's face popped up on the big screen. Kang Young-pyo, Seo Do-jun's eyes lit up with interest.
Hyun Ju-yeon and Seo Do-jun met in a swanky cafe.
Hyun Ju-yeon placed several shopping bags on the table.
"This is a little present." Seo Do-jun looked at her, cup in hand. "A present?"
Hyun Ju-yeon smiled and explained, "This one's for Yoon-young and Grandma." She pointed to another bag.
This one's for you. Seo Do-jun reached out to take the bag.
Check it out when you get home. No need to open it here. There's a fancy trench coat in the bag. It actually looks pretty nice.
Hyun Ju-yeon picked up her cup. "This is a little token of appreciation for your help.
Thanks to you, I became a hero.
Compared to the help I got, this is just a small gift.
If you want, I can even get you a car." Seo Do-jun looked up. "If I ever want one, I'll let you know."
And I did indeed get your help. Hyun Ju-yeon's expression turned serious.
I asked you how you figured out Makazian's weakness, but I bet you're not gonna tell me, right? Seo Do-jun stared right at her.
"Do I have to answer?" Hyun Ju-yeon folded her hands.
"What are your plans for the future?"
I'm not expecting this guy to say something like world peace, but if he targets Hong Seok-soo or Kang Young-pyo, things could get messy.
Shu Daojun started speaking slowly. "First, I gotta get myself a house." Xuan Juyan looked totally shocked.
"You've been living in a rental this whole time, right?" The night was alive with laughter and screams at the pool party.
The ladies were having a blast playing volleyball in the pool.
Zhang Longbiao was chilling in the hot tub, cozied up with Xuan Juyan on both sides. She started acting weird, like she somehow knew Meicaxian's weak spots, but totally kept how she found out a secret. And on the plane, Xuan Juyan was deep in thought, wearing an eye mask.
"Forget about Meicaxian for a sec. Who is Shu Daojun really?"
Zhang Longbiao grilled him.
"What?
You showed up just to take down a prosecutor? I heard you watched Shu Daojun tear Jiang Zheyu apart."
Xuan Juyan just stayed quiet.
She adjusted her eye mask. "Wasn't it Jiang Zheyu who started it? He tried to kill someone in the portal, right?"
"He totally started the fight that day." Jiang Longbiao just grinned.
"That dude, Jiang Zheyu, was blinded by cash. So, guess that's on him." His face darkened. "But hey, he's my cousin, you know?"
"So, I think I've got a reason to get back at Shu Daojun." They locked eyes.
Xuan Juyan leaned back. "Do what you want, I'm not getting involved." Jiang Longbiao turned away.
So their relationship isn't as big a deal as I thought?
"Not like I need to get involved anyway." Xuan Juyan shifted her eye mask, ready to chill. Jiang Longbiao poured himself a drink upside down. "No need to jump in, that's what he said." He frowned.
"Shu Daojun must have some issues." He raised his glass.
"Long Sutton bushes in England. This place got totally wrecked by a monster swarm. The British Hero Association is sending in as many heroes as humanly possible into the rift, just to make sure they snag those magic stones before the second monster wave crashes the party." A guy sighed. "What a shame, if we just had some red fire ant juice, even folks at our level could totally take down Meicaxian." The other guy replied with a totally blank face, "Yeah, if we'd stopped the monster wave earlier, this place would have been an awesome magic stone hotspot. Once a rift's had a monster wave, it can't turn into a portal anymore." "I heard the second wave won't have Meicaxian, but something else. Yeah, we have no clue what's coming. It's kind of freaky. I heard back then the whole country got wiped out." One of the guys suddenly stopped in his tracks. "What's up? I just feel like something's about to pop out."
Have the expedition team members come out yet?
It's only been 5 hours. Alright, let's get it together and stay sharp. There'll definitely be civilians trying to snag magic stones. The red rift flickered and crackled. The two guards watched in horror. A guy in black armor with scars on his face strutted out of the rift, totally giving off major bad vibes. One guard freaked out. He's not a hero, judging by his gear and scars. Quick, contact HQ. A mysterious figure suddenly appeared, trapping the two guards with green energy rings, making them freeze. What is this? They were tossed aside by an invisible force.
Damn it! One guard pulled out a dagger and threw it at the intruder, but it bounced off an invisible barrier.
Too weak. The intruder clenched his fist, and the green energy rings tightened, making the guards scream in pain. He reached out, and purple energy shot from his fingertips, smashing their phones. The phone screen showed 19.26%.
I've been here for 10 years, and it's still not even 20%. Have I failed? After all this effort.
Just to open a dimensional rift.
First, I need to boost the magic concentration. A fallen guard weakly asked, "Who are you?" The intruder ignored him.
But before that, he swiftly knocked the guard out.
Looks like I need to start by taking out these weaklings. He flashed a cruel smile.
In Paju, South Korea, Shu Daojun was strolling on the empty grassland.
He suddenly pulled a full stop. He immediately took off running.
A giant worm-like monster burst from the ground, opening its massive mouth full of sharp teeth.
The ground was shattered by the monster's drilling.
Shu Daojun stood on top of a monster.
Within a 100-meter radius, there were 26 of them.
Shu Daojun placed his hand on the ground.
Let's see how many can survive. He grinned, gathering a ball of energy in his hand. He placed the energy ball on the ground.
Instantly, a massive explosion swept across the grassland.
The monsters were blown to pieces.
Shu Daojun stood amidst the monsters' remains, smiling with satisfaction.
In front of a modern office building, an elderly man with white hair held a cup.
Alright, so what's this guy like? A bespectacled man chimed in.
Actually, he's a young man who's hard to deal with.
He said, "I'm a hero."
Didn't you say his strength couldn't be measured by the hero tester? The vice president of the Korean Hero Association, Min Hong-gi, didn't mention a word about it.
The vice president of the Korean Hero Association, Park Sung-chul, slammed the table in frustration. What a cheeky kid. No matter what we ask, he should answer, right? An elderly man with white hair raised a finger.
Oh, and one more thing. Did you dig up anything else? Not a ton, but apparently Seo Dojun says this whole mess kicked off with hero Kang Cheol-woo's evil scheme. After nearly dying during the portal raid, he powered up, got his revenge on Kang Cheol-woo, and then just handled the new Mappa rift all by himself.
He did act a little extra sometimes, but honestly, you can't miss Seo Dojun's insane strength. The old man folded his arms. He's like a wild stallion. Hard to handle, but definitely top tier. Then he asked for an official hero license. Said since he's got someone to vouch for him, why bother with all the paperwork?
A guarantor, a member of the association. He dropped S-Class Hyun Ju-yeon's name. Both vice presidents were flawed.
Seo Dojun snagged his hero license, becoming Korea's 8th S-Class hero.
With this, I can go wild hunting in the rift zones. Not bad at all. The old man burst out laughing.
The moment he got his license, he bolted straight to the Paju rift zone. This guy's honestly kind of a legend.
Yeah, the way he just jumps into action is honestly wild.
Park Sung-chul shot up from his seat in shock.
Wait, he went into a level 2 rift all by himself? No guildmates, no buddies? Is he out of his mind?
The two higher-ups exchanged a look. Park Sung-chul let out a sigh.
Huh? Park Sung-chul said excitedly. President, if that guy Seo Dojun makes it back alive, we should reveal his identity and promote him. After all, he's our 8th S-Class hero, vice president.
Huh?
Park Sung-chul calmed down.
Min Hong-gi chimed in.
That might not be his vibe.
Shouldn't we ask him first? Park Sung-chul shot back. Vice President, what are you saying?
If another S-Class hero pops up during these crazy times, won't people feel more secure?
President, don't you think so? The white-haired president paused for a moment. I get where you guys are coming from. He made up his mind. I'll go meet him myself. Meanwhile, Seo Dojun was busy throwing hands with some monsters.
Seo Dojun swung his arm, and a fiery slash cut the monster in half.
He then unleashed a flurry of slashes, wiping out all the nearby monsters.
He stood on a pile of monster corpses. Panting, as expected, the mana burn is seriously no joke.
I need a weapon.
A guy with his hair in a bun was chilling in the weapon shop.
The bell at the door jingled. What's your reservation name? Seo Dojun strolled right in.
I want you to make me a weapon with this. The bun guy rolled his eyes. No appointment, no entry. Try your luck at another shop.
Everyone keeps saying they're fully booked and won't take my order. Seo Dojun stared at him. But you picked up the phone, didn't you? The man with the bun frowned. Seriously? I already told you. We're fully booked.
We don't have time for this, seriously. Try another shop. Anyway, all the craftsmen around here are pretty skilled. Suddenly, Seo Dojun grabbed the man bun guy by the collar. What the hell are you doing? Are you the boss? I'm the boss's son. Go get your dad.
I came all the way here because I heard your shop is top-notch. The bun guy grumbled. Dad, someone wants to see you. An old man in slippers shuffled out. Who told you about me?
Hero Gear Master Choi Cheol-gwan, Hyun Ju-yeon recommended you. Choi Cheol-gwan and his son were totally gobsmacked. Ju-yeon seriously recommended me to you?
Whoa, Dad, what is this? A giant black viper fang.
Long time no see. Make me a legit sword, the longer the better.
Long? Wow, you really have no clue, huh?
If you stretch non-metal materials out too long, they just fall apart.
I'll just make 2 medium-sized swords then. Are you straight up admitting you don't have the skills? Mash them together into one sword.
I need it long. Oh, and make sure the mana absorption is cranked up all the way. I've had it with your attitude. My dad's got 0 skills. Most of the weapons my dad makes have at least level 3 mana absorption. Seo Dojun picked up a sword.
This feels like level 5 material. He snapped it, and the sword broke in 2.
Choi Cheol-gwan and his son were shocked. If you're gonna make trash, might as well quit this job now. Choi Cheol-gwan and his son exchanged awkward glances. Deep in the jungle, monsters were busy roaring up a storm. A one-eyed troll let out an earth-shattering roar. Seo Dojun strolled through the jungle.
Still as noisy as ever, he clenched his fist and socked the one-eyed troll right in the face.
Seo Dojun sent the one-eyed troll flying with a punch, then sliced off its head with a flaming fist. The one-eyed troll toppled like a sack of potatoes. Another monster charged, but Seo Dojun dodged it easily and smashed it with a punch. The monster vanished into green light.
Seo Dojun took down all the monsters, one punch at a time.
He was out of breath. Keeping up the magic sword for so long is seriously exhausting. He whipped out a water bottle. That's literally how I managed to nab the one-eyed troll. Back at the weapon shop, Shu Daojun plopped a jar on the table. Wait, what is this?
Give this to your dad.
With this, he can easily fuse those 2 black viper fangs together. The bun-haired guy looked totally puzzled.
What is this? Zhu Daojun just turned and walked off.
Hey, at least give me a heads up before you dip. I've got the basic stuff together, but if I want my magic absorption game to level up, I seriously need that thing. If I want it, there's literally only one place on Earth I can get it. Shu Daojun was now standing outside a fancy mansion. A phone started ringing, and Shu Daojun's name popped up on the screen. Xuan Juyan picked up the call.
Yep. He took off his sunglasses.
Xuan Juyan was chilling by the pool with her friends, soaking up the sun. The association decided to send heroes to Brazil, right?